Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawk. We are Wisconsin.
It feels like a summer evening here in September, a Friday night here in Milwaukee. We're getting ready for a three-game set between the Brewers and the Marlins here at Miller Park. It was expected to be a short three-game homestand for the Brewers, and if you're coming out to the ballpark this weekend, it will have a Miami feel. The Brewers redecorating Miller Park a bit. You'll see some palm trees. You'll see some tropical elements out here at the ballpark. And that's all to just honor Miami, South Florida area. Obviously, the impact of Hurricane Irma going through Florida just about a week ago. A look at the players. Travis Shaw, Eric Thames. This is the first time that the Brewers will be the visiting team in their home ballpark, and they'll be hosting the Marlins here all weekend long. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Miller Park. And we begin today's broadcast by, first of all, just sending our thoughts and well wishes to all of those impacted by Hurricane Irma in Miami and the South Florida area. The Brewers have accommodated the request of Major League Baseball for this series to be relocated from its original destination in Miami to here in Milwaukee. So Fox Sports Supports, we encourage you to support the Red Cross, which depends on financial donations to provide disaster relief. So you can help those affected by both Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by going to the Red Cross, redcross.org. You can also text the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation. Certainly Fox Sports Supports stands behind the American Red Cross and all that we can do to support those affected by Hurricane Irma. So the schedule for this weekend, it's a 7:10 first pitch tonight. Tomorrow it will be 6:10, and Sunday afternoon a 1:10 start. There are still limited tickets for the series available at brewers.com/Marlins. And the Brewers are doing all that they can to help those affected by the hurricane. The proceeds from the 50-50 raffle will be donated to the American Red Cross, and there's 25% off concessions all weekend as well. So we certainly encourage fans to come out. They have already answered the call by purchasing thousands of tickets. The Brewers are expecting to have at least 20,000 fans here for each of the games over the weekend. So it'll be a great weekend of baseball here at Miller Park. We hear now from the players and what this series means with A.J. Ellis for the Marlins and Travis Shaw for Milwaukee.
It's been an interesting week, kind of keeping tabs on what's going on in Miami while still trying to keep our focus on the field. Just hearts go out to all the fans, the Marlin fans down there in South Florida, and then the South Floridians in general for what they've been experiencing and trying to put their lives back together in what was just such a catastrophic storm.
A little surprised. I mean, we're in a race. I'm surprised they let that happen, but at the same time, we're going to try to take advantage of that. That's 3 extra home games for us. Less travel this time of the year is better for everybody, and we should use that 3 games to our advantage, and hopefully we can capitalize.
The Brewers hope to capitalize on 3 additional games at home. They'll have a first-time starter, former closer Jeremy Jeffress, Brian Anderson, and Bill Schroeder. Take a look at his night coming up next.
will be the Marlins' home park this weekend. Miller Park, Milwaukee. Even though the Brewers are in their home whites, they'll be the visiting team here today. Brewers have 2 races they are engaged in. One with the Cubs, who won earlier today. The other in the wild card race, chasing those Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody. We welcome you. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Very unusual set of circumstances that we are here in Milwaukee instead of at Marlins Park in Miami. Understand those circumstances. And on the mound, the Brewers have an unusual set of circumstances as well. They're going to go with a reliever to start this game in Jeremy Jeffress. What do you think?
Yeah, first time ever that Jeremy's been a starter in his career now. This is the 3rd bullpen day in 11 games for the Brewers. They're 2-0 so far. Brent Suter started the first couple. Jeremy Jeffress actually got the win in those 2 games, but you know the bullpen has been terrific. Starting out with Jeremy here today, outstanding work. 7 games and 155 earned run average. Everybody to a man has been doing a great job. I mean, and when you get down to this point in the season, you have to do everything you can, you know, to win games. Even when you have to run your bullpen out for an entire game. The Brewers the first 2 times have done a very good job of that. It all anchors with that guy at the end, Corey Knebel. Great work. Swarzak's been good. Hader, everybody's been good out of that pen.
Well, we're set to play ball. The Milwaukee Brewers will bat first. They're coming up. We got lineups and first pitch headed your way on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Must win, and every game presents its own challenges. Tonight, the bullpen will be asked to get all 27 outs and shut down a lineup featuring one of the premier hitters in the game. It's an extended homestand, and for the first time ever, the Brewers will be the road warriors at Miller Park. Brewers Marlins coming up next. And there they are, the home-standing Miami Marlins, hitting the field first at Miller Park behind their all-star slugger, Giancarlo Stanton, the Major League leader in home runs with 54. Tonight's game on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Great to have you with us here at Miller Park. Roof is open. It is a beautiful night for baseball, 76 degrees. And expecting great weather this weekend as well, as the Marlins are here. A mad scramble to get support services in this ballpark, sell all of these tickets at a much discounted rate, and here we are. Things feel very normal, and we'll have baseball between the Marlins and the Brewers. As you see, Craig Counsell, former Florida Marlin back in the day, World Series champion with the Florida Marlins, scored that famous winning run for the Marlins, and his batting order looks like this, courtesy of Potawatomi. It's Sogard leading off, Neil Walker, then Ryan Braun. In the middle goes Shaw, Santana, and Thames. Vogt, Phillips, and Jeffress will round out the starting 9. It is unlikely that Jeffress will get an at-bat in this game. So that's the lineup, Rock, that will face Jose Urena. And I'm not sure if the Miller Park sound system put his walk-up music on per se, but it was a very Miami feel as he hit it.
It did. Got the crowd going a little bit, but 25th start for Urena. He's been outstanding, one of the best the Marlins have thrown out there. The rotation has struggled quite a bit. Last time out, a win against Atlanta.
Well, you'll have to catch me if we fall here with the Brewers batting first in their own ballpark. It'll be a bit of an adjustment. They are in the home whites. You'll notice the Marlins have been on this road trip since the hurricane passed through South Florida, so they don't have their white uniforms with them and didn't really feel like packing them all up and sending them. They don't really care. They're wearing their uniforms that they've had on this long road trip. Now this becomes the third city of this current road trip, which started in Atlanta and then Philadelphia. And Don Mattingly, the Marlins skipper, says we're just happy to be playing ball in a little bit of a sanctuary here, that they get to play ball, and they do have all of their families, extended families. We're all invited on the charter plane, and they've been with the ball club through this entire road trip.
Yep, and the Marlins have really struggled on this trip.
Ground ball to the right side. Over there is D. Gordon, and he'll make the play, and that's how the game begins for Urena.
Well, let's check out the Marlins Menards defense. I mean, the best fielding team in all the National League. They have committed only 64 errors this year. Got Ozuna, Yelich, and Stanton in the outfield. They have a BA out here, Brian, over at third base. BA Brian Anderson. You got Rojas, Gordon up the middle. Justin Bour back from the disabled list. He's at first, and JT Realmuto behind home plate. They're everywhere.
By far my new favorite player, the rookie Brian Anderson at third base. There's been a few of us, and this one just arriving to the big leagues. The Marlins BA, Oklahoma native and University of Arkansas.
Got a little size on you.
Yeah, among other things. Talent, size, hair, abs. Haven't had a chance to meet him yet. I'm hoping to go down and say hello. I want him to be really famous. Marlins feel really good about this kid too. They think he's a great talent. Got a chance to be the opening day starter at third base next year. 3 balls, no strikes to count on Neil Walker. And there's a strike.
Hey, Urena basically a 3-pitch pitcher. Fastball, he's got good movement on it. I mean, the release point alone tells you a good sink to his fastball, going away from a lefty.
And that one's hit hard past Gordon. A base hit for Walker. Clean single to right field.
Got a little bit too much to the plate with that one. He's got a slider and a changeup to go with that fastball. And Neil Walker able to center on that one. Ended up down the middle of the plate, and he rips it into right field.
Now Walker with a single to right. Puts a man on for Ryan Braun. You can tell it's a live wire crowd here. My guess is a lot of folks in the ballpark tonight are not season ticket holders or the regular fans that come out to Miller Park. And it was such a last-minute operation to sell tickets. It wasn't even announced until Wednesday that the Brewers were going to play these games. So just we were overlooking our booth here, our perch, and so many fans are here that we don't recognize below us that aren't normal season ticket holders, and so excited to be in Miller Park right now and watch Big League Baseball. Little tapper, going to be a tough play. Ranging over is Rojas, and just in time to get Braun. Bang bang play at first base. Second out of the inning. Walker advances to second base.
Yeah, toughest part of that play, getting it in and out of the glove and the throw to first base. Able to get himself together. He's able to get the out by half a step, if that, maybe just a quarter step. talked about this Marlins defense. These guys are terrific. Only 64 errors so far this year. They are solid defensively.
That's the fewest errors in the majors. They have the best fielding percentage in the major leagues at .988, and it would also be a Marlins record if they maintain this kind of pace. Runner at second here in the first inning, top of the first inning, and here is Travis Shaw. Urena, one of the many starters that we've seen who pitches only from the stretch. He had a very poor spring training for the Marlins, and there was discussion that he might be released. He was out of options, meaning they couldn't send him back down to the minor leagues. So the debate was whether to keep him on the 25-man roster or essentially designate him for assignment or make him available on waivers to other teams. And he made the team because they felt like, well, we need a little bit of depth.
He's got a good arm.
He's got a big arm. No sense in giving up on that right now. But he makes the major league squad basically because he didn't have any options to go to the minor leagues. And he's turned out to be their best starter. So you never know what you're going to find. Spring training doesn't always tell the story of what a season will end up being.
Yeah, he started in the bullpen and on May 7th made his first start and has not looked back since. 13-6, a .361 earned run average, and he's won 6 of his last 8 decisions.
Has a live arm. He's been under the tutelage of Juan Nieves, who he gives a great deal of credit for his turnaround. The former Brewer. Shaw draws a walk. Urena puts 2 on here in the first inning. Well, since May 7th, Urena is right there with the league leaders. He is second behind the Brewers' Zach Davies. 13 wins since May 7th, right about the time he went into the rotation after starting the year as the long reliever. Two on, 2 out. Santana takes a ball down and in. Now we feel for all those fans and all those folks in Florida and the Miami area, and we certainly want to recognize Domingo Santana's hometown as well in the Virgin Islands. St. Thomas devastated by the hurricane, and he's trying to rally up a lot as well. There's a bouncer to short that'll end up as a force play at second, and the side is retired. So here we go, a first timer coming up for the Brewers. Jeremy Jeffress, familiar name. First time he's ever started a game in the big leagues. He's on the mound when we continue. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Brought some palm trees in, trying to make the Marlins feel as much at home as we can here in Milwaukee. Don Mattingly, the great Yankee and Marlins manager, former Dodger manager, now in his second year as the skipper of the Fish. And his batting order looks like this, courtesy of Potawatomi. He's got D. Gordon, Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich at the top, Ozuna, Real Muto, and Boer, in the middle, with Anderson, Rojas, and Urena rounding it out. And D. Gordon, first ball swinging right back to the mound. Jeffress has one pitch and one out. Good way to start.
Yeah, first ever start for Jeremy Jeffress as a Brewer. He's been terrific. 14 appearances with the Brewers, a .270 earned run average. He's 3-0. He's actually been the winning pitcher in the first two bullpen games for the Brewers. First for him, this is a little bit different preparation. You know, he was, not going to bat it like a normal starter. Starters usually sit in the clubhouse. He was out there running around shagging flies like he normally would in batting practice, trying to make it as normal of a day as possible.
He's got Giancarlo Stanton at the plate. First pitch outside for a ball. The Major League home run leader, 54 long balls for Stanton, 113 driven in. He's done a lot of damage with the home run ball in the first inning this year. He's hit 14 first inning home runs this season, and that might have gone into the decision making for Craig Counsell. Pretty explosive lineup at the top of their order. And instead of maybe a Brent Suter type coming out to start the game, Counsell starts with a power sinker right-hander in Jeremy Jeffress.
And a guy that's relied heavily lately on that split change. I was talking to Jeremy about that pitch the other day. He said, I got a lot of confidence in that, and he was using a lot of them his last time out.
Feels like it has evolved from the split change to just a straight up split finger pitch. There's a chopper to third, and Shaw with a good throw in time for out number 2.
Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. Craig Counsell has his left-handed hitting lineup out there. And let's take a look at him defensively. Braun, Phillips, Santana in the outfield. Phillips with a great game a couple of days ago against Pittsburgh. Shaw, Sogard, Walker, Thames on the infield, and Stephen Vogt back behind home plate.
You got 5 lefties in the lineup, and the switch hitter Neil Walker. And Brett Phillips continues to impress and gets another start after his terrific performance here on Wednesday against the Pirates, offensively and defensively. 2 quick outs for Jeffress, and here is Christian Yelich, one of the best center fielders in the game. Yelich comes in with 17 homers, 76 driven in. He torched the Brewers here at Miller Park in the first series they matched up against each other. Had 5 hits in that series.
This guy can rake. I mean, probably one of the better players in the league that most people have never heard of. This guy gets it done. He can run, hit for average.
Two balls, no strikes on Yelich. On the ground, over there to backhand it is Walker. Just the kind of inning Craig Counsell was looking for. Jeffress, 3 up, 3 down, 8 pitches. Off this second inning. Remember, the Brewers are batting in the top half of these innings. Thames has got it going again. He now has 30 homers. He had back-to-back games with home runs against the Pirates and against two hard throwers. Turned the fastball around against Garrett Cole and then hit that curveball out to the opposite field. And Thames now leading the Brewers once again in homers. Takes a ball high from Urena.
Now this is the group of guys got to lead the way down the stretch. Veteran guys get it done.
Look out, way inside, almost hit him. Big velocity pitcher here in Urena. He threw that one in at 96 miles an hour, and he's comfortable in the upper 90s. He looks like an intimidating presence on the mound. He's got the dreadlocks going, working that gum over. He hits the field every inning. He runs onto the field and he does that like that spray, you know, with his mouth like a wrestler would.
Yeah. He's not afraid to come inside. He's hit 14 guys, so it's not just that he looks intimidating. He tries to intimidate you a little bit, knocking you off the plate.
Looks like the kind of guy that doesn't lose an ounce of sleep if he drills you right in the rib cage. Urena, he's been a big project for Juan Nieves, the man you caught, the only no-hitter in Brewers franchise history. He gives him a lot of credit, and part of that discussion was working inside more.
Yeah. He's got that abbreviated wind-up. He's kind of compacted things nicely to make the release point a lot more consistent. We see more and more of that these days.
That one stung Eric Thames. Foul ball right off his foot. He does wear the protective padding there, but I think it missed that padding. I think it got him right on top of the foot here.
Well, he protects the a little upset. Well, he's got the shin protected.
Oh.
Did he hit right at the bottom of that thing?
I think
or
it
what?
did, but the impact.
Yeah, got him. He got the pad.
So you're saying he should be okay then?
I'm sure he's going to be all right. I'm sure it hurt.
Imagine what that would have done if it hadn't hit the pad. This is a Sang Namja moment for Eric Thames, as he would say. And he takes a ball. Ball 4. Will limp his way to first base. Man on to start the inning. Second walk issued by Urena.
Yeah, he does walk some batters. 52 walks, 101 strikeouts coming into tonight's game. That's in 147 innings. Throws hard. He'll take a little off all of his pitches. Add a little, take a little off. The slider, the changeup.
Here's Stephen Vogt with a man on. Brewers go 3 consecutive left-handers at the bottom of their order here with Thames, Vogt, and Phillips. These are all left-handed hitters that could be replaced as the game goes on depending on the matchups. Typically see Pena come in for Vogt if the Brewers have a late lead. Aguilar might come in for Eric Thames. So normally managers don't like to stack their left-handers up together, but Counsell doesn't mind in this scenario because he has options. No balls, 2 strikes on Vogt. Slaps one foul and out of play. Steven broke a long hitless streak, was 0 for 14 at one point, then had a base hit on Wednesday, and it was a good at-bat. He hung in there for a long at-bat and then slapped one to the opposite field. Usually when hitters in slumps start going the other way, that's when the hot streaks come, and oftentimes that's when the power comes. Thames still a little shook up by that foul ball off his right shin.
Yeah, probably going to stiffen up as the game goes on.
Jose Urena, 13-6 this year, and a 3.61 ERA. He has been the Marlins' best in the dirt. Nice pick back there by Real Muto. That keeps Thames over at first, and the count evens at 2-2.
Thrown a lot of changeups so far. Hasn't been able to throw him for strikes.
Now see what he gets here. 2-2. And Vogt fouls that one off the umpire. Home plate umpire tonight is Ryan Addington. Todd Tishner, Kerwin Danley, Bill Miller are the base umpires.
That's a new one on me. I haven't seen him before.
I believe this is one of his first games. Certainly his first game at Miller Park behind the plate. Ryan Addington. Vogt in the air to right center. Back is Stanton. He's at the wall, and there she goes. Stephen Vogt, a 2-run home run.
Well, he's done a nice job. That's why Counsell gets him in the lineup.
Just hit him with a cup of water. There's nothing better than the gauntlet. And Stephen Vogt all in, mouthpiece in and everything. You got to keep that mouthpiece in for that one.
Yeah, for that. Yeah. Bite your tongue.
Here's Brett Phillips now. Tell you, Rock, I mean, you've been watching baseball at this level a lot longer than I have, but it is uncanny how hitters, you get slumping hitters and they get a base hit. That one's hit hard to center field, but on a line right at Yelich, and he's got it for the out. Phillips is retired. These guys, you start going the other way, it's almost 100% the power is going to come ultimately.
Yeah, no kidding. And that looked like I don't know, it was a changeup. He took a little long. Looks like it had a little cut to it. And Vogt goes down and gets it, knocks it out of here. And they all give us a show when it's all said and done.
Jeffress will get an at-bat here. After a nice clean bottom of the first inning, Jeffress with his second plate appearance. 2-0 Brewers, getting a home run here in the top of the second inning. Brewers as the visiting team in this ballpark. I thought Jeffress might go up there and just take a bunch of pitches, but apparently not.
No, these guys, they relish these opportunities. You kidding me? I'm swinging.
He's a ball player.
Oh, it's a hit.
Well, he's a swinger anyway. He may not be a hitter just yet, but he's a swinger.
Hey, he's up there hacking, though.
2 outs. Top of the order now. Here comes Sogard. Sogard grounded out in the first inning. Brewers are trying to keep pace with the Chicago Cubs, who won earlier today. They beat the Cardinals. They've got a weekend series with their rival, St. Louis.
Was it a 7-run 6th inning for the Cubs?
Cubs won the game 8-2, 7 runs in the 6th inning. Carlos Martinez for the Cardinals giving up the bulk of those runs. There was a couple of ejections in that game as well, and perhaps suspensions coming.
Yeah.
Wilson Contreras and John Lackey both tossed out.
John Lackey popped his cork. Thought he had Carlos Martinez struck out. Would have been the 3rd out of the inning. Wasn't called a strike. He was upset at that point. Where's his emotions on his sleeve? Then he hung a slider. Martinez got a base hit, and then the fun began.
Lackey giving up 2 runs in 4 2/3, cost himself a win there. Carl Edwards Jr. got the win today for the Cubs. Carlos Martinez gave up 7 earned runs in 5 1/3. Hard to know who to root for in that scenario. Cardinals or Cubs. The Brewers started the day in a tie with the Cardinals. They have both of those teams as opponents coming up. Brewers have 4 against the Cubs next weekend, and then 3 against the Cardinals last day of the season, the last 3 days of the season.
Is it too much to ask they both lose?
Probably. It's probably illegal.
I don't know. I don't know. The Brewers just got to keep winning, and it really won't matter what they do.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that they play the Cubs 4 more times and the Cardinals 3.
2-2 the count. And Sogard fights it off foul. So you play the percentages, and you can't even hardly say it, but you root for the Cubs in that scenario because you want to eliminate a team as fast as you can or get distance between a team you're challenging with. And Brewers with a win tonight could go up a game on the Cardinals and stay 3 back of the Chicago Cubs with 4 to play with that team.
And the Cubs, after this weekend, they go on a long road trip, including 4 here in Milwaukee.
9th pitch coming of this at bat. Sogard lifts it in the air to center field, and Yelich is calling. He's got it to end the inning. However, Stephen Vogt got himself down in the count 0-2, broke out of a long slump on Wednesday, and he hammers one out of here. Friday night homer, a fish fry for Stephen Vogt, and it's 2-0 Brew Crew.
Brewers up by 2 and take advantage of great weather this weekend and catch some pennant chase baseball for just $10 as the Brewers and Marlins continue the 3-game series right here at Miller Park tomorrow night at 6 o'clock and Sunday afternoon at 1. Tickets for both games are still available at brewers.com/Marlins.
Jeremy Jeffress back to work. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning with the Marlins, the home team. Marcell Ozuna leads off. JT Realmuto will bat 2nd, then Bohr. 3 up, 3 down inning for Jeffress in the 1st inning. 3 ground ball outs on just 8 pitches. Jeffress even getting an at bat in this game. Probably 2 innings out of Jeremy, maybe 3 if he's efficient here. The bullpen by committee day.
Yeah. Well, so far so good. The first 2 times the Brewers have been able to win.
Ozuna back up the middle. Right there is Walker to his feet. Throw to first in time.
Yeah, showing good range up the middle.
1 away and 4 up, 4 down for Jeffress. All ground ball outs as we check in with Sophia.
Our scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. A roster move today. Jimmy Nelson officially placed on the 10-day disabled list that allowed Aaron Wilkerson to be called up for his debut. But the news on Jimmy Nelson, he went to Los Angeles to see Dr. Neil Elatrash, who's an orthopedic surgeon there. And Nelson overall was pretty pleased with the report. So he will have surgery on Tuesday in Los Angeles with Elatrash, but he said it's going to be basically to clear up the debris, he said, from the dislocation in his shoulder, the partially torn labrum. And he said really at that point, once they get into the surgery, they'll determine kind of what else needs to be repaired. So the amount of repair that they do will determine the amount of time that he misses. So there's still no clear timeline, but once Jimmy has the surgery on Tuesday, there will be a better idea of how much time he'll miss. So certainly overall, Nelson was encouraged by the report and looking forward to kind of getting the process underway.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you don't know what the recovery is going to be until you go in there and check out and see what the damage and the extent of the damage. And I am sure that Jimmy Nelson is going to do whatever he can to get back next year.
Well, cleanup sounds a lot better than repair. So.
And plus, it's good that they do it early and not mess around and kind of waver back and forth, and then you're kind of wasting a lot of time. But Jimmy making a decision to get it done, so he's ready quickly.
Well, he was emerging as a potential ace with the kind of year he put together this season. 199 strikeouts. Just shy of that 200 mark, but a monster year from Nelson, and hopefully that is a full recovery for him. The Brewers' outlook is very bright with Jimmy Nelson in the rotation and all the pieces they put together and all of the young pitchers they have coming. That's the name of the game.
Yep, other guys have to step up now, whether it be the bullpen or maybe you get a guy like Wilkerson coming in to make starts. Woodruff. Team effort like it's been all year.
2-2 pitch. Real Muto turns on one. That is hooking foul. Yeah, the Brewers did make a roster move today with Aaron Wilkerson coming up from AAA Colorado Springs, the Waco, Texas native. So Wilkerson is here. He is available. It's a discussion that he might get a start next week as Nelson goes on the 10-day deal. Yadiel Rivera was designated for assignment. Fly ball to right, slicing, hit hard, and this one's going to get down fair. Extra bases for Real Muto. It's a 2-strike double, the first hit of the game for the Marlins.
Yeah, good season for Real Muto, hitting almost 280. He's got some power, terrific catcher. Nothing really wrong with this Marlins offense. I mean, they can swing the bats. They hit a lot of home runs. It's their pitching that has given them the problem, particularly lately. And Jeremy leads one up in the strike zone. He rips it down the right field line.
Ground rule double is the call. Real Muto has been a Brewer killer. That's his 5th double in just 13 games. Hitting over 350 against Milwaukee in his brief career. There's strike one to Justin Bour, big left-handed slugger. This Marlins club, they play in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, but they've got some bangers in their lineup. And the best home run hitter in baseball in Giancarlo Stanton. Shift is on for Bour. And a strike. Good fastball in there.
I mean, you figure home run wise, the Marlins don't mind playing here as opposed to back at home. Of course, that's just the baseball aspect of it. There's a lot more that goes into that. You know that these guys would rather be in Miami in their home ballpark. But Miller Park much more homer friendly than is Marlins Park.
Runner goes and a base hit through. And a run will score. Real Muto is in. Taking off on the pitch. And Bour delivers the RBI. Clean single to left. Had the shift on. Bour doesn't hit the ball in that direction very often.
And Real Muto doesn't run all that much. Another fastball pretty straight up in the zone. You can tell that Justin Bour was thinking that way all the way. He was thinking about going into left field. Rolls it into left, and Real Muto able to score.
A spot where the shift hurts the Brewers. And a run is in on back-to-back hits. And here is Brian Anderson now, his Miller Park debut. First time I heard of this guy, he was playing at the University of Arkansas. I was in doing a college basketball game, and The SID. So you got to meet our baseball version of Brian Anderson. He's a pro prospect. He's got a chance to get drafted. And here he is in the big leagues.
You dig deep into all the Brian Andersons out there, don't you?
You know, we're a tight unit.
I don't blame you.
I know those Bill Schroeders, that group's not quite as large.
No. Me and the ex-football player, as far as I know.
That's a Schrader, right?
Yeah.
Is that why people call you Schrader all the time?
Yeah.
Or as
you get used to it.
As Bruce Fleming calls him, Schrades.
Yeah.
Ball and a strike to the rookie third baseman. No, he's come on and swung the bat well. He's got 50 plate appearances in the big leagues already with 30 hits. Had 3 hits last night against the Phillies, including 2 doubles. Made his MLB debut on the 1st of September. And was fooled on that pitch. In the air, foul territory. Vogt wants it. He's got it. And it's out number 2.
Yeah, good curveball there for Jeremy Jeffress. Yep, had him out in front. It was up, but it was away. You can see Anderson reaching for it. Easy pop up.
Well, that's one thing you'll see with Jeffress. Unlike a lot of relievers, he'll add a third pitch to his arsenal. That curveball, fastball, splitter, curveball.
Used to be just a 2-pitch guy with the fastball and the curve. Now he's got 3.
8th place hitter at the plate, Miguel Rojas, with a runner at first. And a fastball's in there for a strike. He's got good velocity tonight, Jeremy. 96, 97 miles an hour. Third tour of duty with the Brewers. Been traded twice by the Brewers. Last time he started a game was the season following his trade by Milwaukee to Kansas City. Made a start in the minor leagues. Up the middle, sounded like he broke his bat, and Sogard shovels it over to second, not in time. And the Marlins are finding some holes here in the second inning. A shattered bat for Rojas, but he is on with a single to center.
Yep, able to put it in play. It was a pitch away from him, right off the end of the bat, and sneaks it in there, and you lose a little range with Sogard at short. And Craig Counsell looking for as many left-handed bats as he can in that starting lineup.
Sogard very steady at the shortstop position, at every position really. So the pitcher is coming up, Urena, who has 4 hits this year, by the way. Can handle the bat fairly well. Pretty athletic guy. Don't see many pitchers standing there like this guy does. He's right on top of the plate.
Yes, he is.
And a fastball strike from Jeffress.
There, and you come inside.
Took a peek over at third. Shaw's very deep over there. And a broken bat. Back is Thames. Can't get it. That falls. Santana kicks it. And coming around to score is Bohr. Boy, what an inning of broken bats for the Marlins. Now the pitcher drives in a run. It's 2-2 on their 4th hit of the inning.
Well, we saw a lot of that in that final game in the Pittsburgh series. He gets eaten up. He breaks his bat, but able to dump it out of the reach of Thames. Wow. Pitcher with a base hit. I think if Santana comes up with it cleanly, they might have a play at the plate. But in his haste to get there, he bobbled it.
Bohr does not run well. That could go as an error on Santana. See how they score it. 2-2 game. Just like that, the Marlins tie it. Now back to the top of the order, and the All-Star D. Gordon.
Yeah, Brent Suter now getting loose in the Brewers pen. doing it in reverse order tonight.
Suter made the last 2 starts in the bullpen by committee day, with Jeffress coming out of the pen to pick him up. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Looked like a strike anyway.
0-2 the count. Bottom of the 2nd inning here at Miller Park. Marlins at the bat. The home team in this relocated series. Oh, 2 pitch. Another jam shot. That's in shallow center field. And what a catch! Oh, Eric Sogard. That's one of the best you'll see. And the inning is over. Didn't even look at it. All 4 of his eyes are in the front of his head. I think he's got 2 more in the back of his head. What a play to end the inning. Man. Game saver. We'll see how this game continues on. Saves at least 1 run. Heck of a play. Rick Schlesinger joins us now, the chief operating officer of the Brewers. We rarely have Rick up here, but since the Marlins are the home team, we thought maybe you'd like to come up and say a few words. Because
let's change it up.
We interview out there where there are palm trees, and I think there's a flamingo out there in center field. Your spot's been taken.
Very South Florida out there.
All right, so this is an incredible experience here. We're looking at a full crowd on the field level, almost all the lows level. You had 2 days to put this together. What's the process been like?
It's been a whirlwind, but tremendous cooperation from our staff and all our event people, our security people, concession workers, parking, cleaners, ticket takers. Everybody stepping up, changing their plans. We've carted people in from all parts around the country to come and help, and they stepped it up. And look at the fans. They stepped it up too by buying all these tickets. It's a great crowd tonight.
You know what I would say, man, it's probably a great compliment at this point, but everything feels completely normal at Miller Park. Everything is working normal. Everything is flowing normally from the parking. The fans are in the stands. And I mean, I guess it's hard to understand how much goes into putting on a Major League Baseball game. You guys do it every day, do it so well every day. As Walker bounces to second base. When did you find out that Miller Park was going to be the host site for this series?
Wednesday at 12:31 p.m. to be exact. We had an inkling, obviously, earlier in the week, and we're monitoring the weather. We're monitoring the situation, and we knew that we were scheduled to go to Florida, and I think the intent was for everybody to try to make it work. And then Wednesday afternoon, MLB called me and said, we just need to focus on recovery efforts down there. They need to move the series. Can we host it? I said, we can. We've done it before in 2007. We did it in 2008. we're nimble, we can move, and again, testament to our great staff and great fans for making this a great event.
What has been the most challenging part of this thing? I mean, there's so many things that are intertwined. I mean, it's mind-boggling just to think about all that goes on. But what's been the toughest part of this for you?
Well, I think, you know, the getting concessions working, because we had to bring in people from Detroit, Minneapolis, San Diego, Texas to help with the concessions. You obviously need people trained in food preparation, food handling, and, you know, it's a big operation. And obviously we want to make sure that everybody here has, you know, ample opportunities to sample all the great food and beverages here. And so that was the biggest challenge. But, you know, Delaware North, our partner, stepped it up and did a great job.
Bouncing ball to short, and Braun bounces out.
So you weren't asked to go back there and you know, make food, or?
You probably don't want to see that.
No?
I'm better consuming it as opposed to preparing it. You can ask my wife to say the same thing.
Yeah.
So at this point, Rick, are you a visiting Chief Operating Officer, Rick Schlesinger? Are you, as far as your regular anxiety level for a regular season game, because you do this every day, where are you at right now? Are you heightened right now, or is it a little lower now that you've seen what's going on here?
No, I'm focused on the game and, you know, wanting to win and hanging on every pitch. And but I had a lot of confidence in our staff that we were going to be able to make this a great event. And again, to your credit, Brian, we wanted to make this seamless. We want it to feel like a Brewers game. And we don't want people to have to worry about the operations. We want people to enjoy themselves. And I think they're going to do that. And if we score a few more runs, they'll have a little more enjoyment.
Yeah, sure. Where do you find so many palm trees? There's got to be 1,000 palm trees around the ballpark. You did a good job trying to imitate that statue.
I had them in my basement in anticipation of this event.
Huh?
I feel like you raided a high school prom or something, right?
We had to do a number of things, but luckily the plastic palm trees are in abundance here.
Travis Shaw bounces over to third base, and 3 ground ball outs to end the inning. Well, Rick, great job. I mean, as always, you guys do a phenomenal job of whatever you're given, and this is a special occurrence. This is going to be one you're talking about for a while, I would imagine.
It's a little odd to see us batting first, but it's a great experience. We're having a lot of fun.
All right, Rick Schlesinger, Chief Operating Officer, has been our guest, and he and his staff put this thing together in 2 days to host this 3-game series. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota, let's go places. Little touch of Miami here at Miller Park. From Marlins Park to Miller Park. Glad to be able to host these games this weekend. Jacob Barnes is on the mound for the Brewers. He'll be the next reliever up. Jeremy Jeffress goes 2 innings. And all those broken bat hits for Jeffress. A bit of bad luck for the Brewer pitcher, giving up 2 runs on 4 hits, but a tremendous play by Sogard to end the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Yeah, saving a run, maybe more. Ended the inning with Stanton in the on-deck circle.
Playing the bottom of the third with Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna coming up for the Fish. And a shot right to Shaw. He's got it for the out. Well, that'll make up for one of those broken bat hits, maybe. A line drive bullet. Shaw was playing as far back as he could without being on the grass.
No, you don't blame him, do you, with this guy up? You don't want to be in when Stanton's at the plate. I mean, he adjusted his stance right before the Marlins came to Milwaukee the first time. Closed up that stance. Then he moved off the plate, and since that time, he has been a tough out. A lot of homers, a lot of line drives like that.
Christian Yelich with one away. By the way, we didn't have a whole lot of time with Rick. A quick 3-up, 3-down inning for the Brewers, but between the breaks there, asked him about, you know, there's been a lot of questions about the revenue, ticket revenue, concession, parking. All of that, by the way, goes to Major League Baseball. So it's all sent to the league office. They will determine how to disperse that, reimbursing the Brewers and their expenses here. The Marlins will get a take as well. Brewers will not profit from these 3 games, and baseball will determine where the funds go. So it is just incredible they able to put together this kind of scene in here this quickly. I was thinking when they announced the games were going to be here at Miller Park, I was thinking maybe 5,000 to 7,000 people. They opened up 10,000 tickets, and they sold 30,000 for the weekend series in 45 minutes.
Great fans. I mean, just very fortunate we are here in Wisconsin. Loyal fans. They love baseball. And
Rick Schlesinger said they are expecting about 19,000 tonight, and it'll be 25,000-ish for the next 2 games, Saturday and Sunday. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
These won't count as home games as far as attendance numbers go. They will count as a home date on the schedule, on the record. So the Brewers will have 3 more home games than road games. By the way, there's still tickets available. We've got room and personnel to work the ballpark, so make sure you take advantage of it. Discounted tickets, discounted concessions. Come see us here at Miller Park this weekend.
It is amazing. I mean, you go through a scenario like this, and all the things that go on behind the scenes that you never knew went on before this series. I mean, just an incredible operation to put a Major League Baseball game on. A lot of people involved.
Let's check in with Sophia for more. She heard from the manager today. What Counsell have to say?
Well, Craig Counsell said he was just thrilled when you hear that fan response of how many tickets are sold, the fans coming out. He said it's a great statement just by the fans and the organization to see them, show up like this, especially on such short notice. Credited Rick Schlesinger and his group for all of the work that goes into, as you guys said, putting this all together in really just 48 hours. And Rick had told us earlier this week, it's basically like mobilizing a small city overnight. And Counsell said to see this turnout expected over the weekend, he said, really, this is what Wisconsin sports fans do. He said they show up consistently when they know that these games matter. So he said, while you're thrilled to see it, he said, selfishly, you almost kind of expected it, and it's great to see.
Check on the runner at first. Close play. Just back is Yelich. And Sophia, I think, again, that's the Milwaukee part of this story, and it is cool to see this put together this fast. But we certainly want to reiterate that the only reason we're here is because of the very concerning situation in Miami, and our thoughts are with everyone in Florida, and we're wishing them a quick recovery there, cleanup and recovery. Talking to our friends from the Marlins, our broadcasting colleagues, and some of the players. The idea is that they might be on the road for a little while. They could end up on the road for 2 to 3 weeks.
Right. I mean, they're supposed to be going back to Milwaukee, or I should say Miami, after this series. But they don't know if they will. They've already been on the road quite a long time.
Had a chat with A.J. Ellis before the game, and he said, the one thing about coming to Miller Park, and all the players as they discuss this possibility, is that they knew they were going to step into a pennant race situation. and they knew it was going to be a good crowd, and ball players want to play in that kind of environment.
Right.
You know, there were other options that might have been available to go, and you know, you probably wouldn't have come near this kind of crowd. You play in front of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people. These big leaguers, that can be a little bit concerning.
And don't think that the Miller Park roof didn't have a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, you guarantee the games are going to play, right?
Yeah, don't have to worry about, you know, not only having to move the series, but then have to deal with rain.
And by the way, I asked a few people today. Miller Park, Rick Schlesinger, his team, Mark Atanasio, there was no negotiation for this game. This was baseball telling the Brewers, or asking if it was available, and they'll gladly take it. Glad to have these games here with the Brewers in a pennant race, and the Brewers are going to donate the money raised in the 50-50 raffle today and all weekend to the American Red Cross and the Irma recovery efforts. So they will have a big check to write the Red Cross after these 3 games. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Barnes strikes out Ozuna.
Yeah, Ozuna had a difficult time with that cutter right there. Really didn't see it very well, and 3 very defensive swings. Pulling off right here. Check it out. Man, that front shoulder pulling off, and no chance. And Barnes put in a perfect spot, down and away.
That's the first strikeout for Brewer pitching tonight. Barnes with a K for the second out of the bottom of the 3rd here. And here comes JT Realmuto. Realmuto lined a double down the right field line in the 2nd. That opened the door for the Marlins. Scored twice in the 2nd, answering the Stephen Vogt 2-run home run in the top of the 2nd. And he's late, way late on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-2 the count. It's a good looking young catcher here, isn't it, Rock?
Yeah, he is. He's solid defensively. He can pop. He can turn on a fastball. And we saw him rip one down the line on Jeffress, down the right field line, to get that 2nd inning going for Miami. 62 RBIs out of your catching spot. Not bad.
He's played 13 games against the Brewers. He has 12 hits in those 13 games. Been a tough out. 0-2 the count. Barnes with that big slider, and that time goes with a fastball fouled back. Do it again, another 0-2. The speedy Yelich at first. On the ground, right to Walker at second base. And that'll be the side for the Marlins. Scoreless inning for Jacob Barnes out of the bullpen. We head to the 4th. Brewers are coming up.
Marlins tied up at 2. Time now for our minor league scouting report, brought to you by the UW Whitewater Athletics. The Brewers minor league player and pitcher of the year, the Robin Yount Performance Awards, were announced earlier today. Lewis Brinson honored for his season in AAA, a .299 average for him, 13 home runs, 48 RBIs, The top prospect also made his major league debut on June 11th, spent 21 games with the crew and had 2 home runs as well. And pitcher of the year, Corbin Burns, between Carolina and Biloxi, an 8-3 record for him, a 1.67 earned run average, third best in all of the minors, 145 2/3 innings of work, and 140 strikeouts for Burns. So certainly a great season for him. He was the 2016 draft pick in the 4th round. And a quick update for you guys on Lewis Brinson, who suffered a significant left hamstring strain back in August. He's been rehabbing in Maryvale, according to Tom Flanagan. He's been throwing and hitting off of a tee. So Brinson making good progress with that hamstring strain.
That's great news. Be curious to see if he could make it back and be available to the Brewers at some point. They'd obviously have to make it to the postseason, maybe have to go around into the postseason, into the division series. David Stearns didn't rule it out, the Brewers GM, but he said it would be a long shot. That ball's hit well. Left field got a big hook on it, and Santana will watch it hook foul.
Yeah,
Almost a home run.
Yeah, that would be interesting if Brinson would be able to get back. My guess is they're going to keep him, down a little bit to make sure that that thing's going to be ready for next year. But you never know.
0-2 the count, and fouled away Santana. Yeah, they wouldn't push it, right? There would be no risk there, but if he goes through his natural timetable on a rehab and it looks like he's okay, then that option could be available. You hope the Brewers are playing long enough where Brinson is a discussion point. Get into the division series or the league championship series. How about the World Series?
Yeah, well, the Brewers are pretty comfortable with what they have in the outfield at this point. You're talking World Series, huh, partner? I like it.
I mean, if you're going to dream big.
Right. Go big or go home.
As a player, like a guy like Lewis Brinson, you have to be thinking that way. You have to hit this rehab as if you're going to come back.
Right.
And if you don't, so be it. You take your off season and then.
He's hitting off the tee. On his way.
2-2 the count. And a jam shot roller foul. Brewers are stock full of very talented young outfielders. Brett Phillips, one of them. Center fielders, especially shortstops and center fielders.
Yeah, up the middle.
Santana was down 0-2. He's got a 3-2 now. And he got him. A strikeout for Urena.
Man reached back and gave him the 96 fastball. Hey, the Brewers are looking to punch that ticket to October, and you can do the same by placing a deposit on a 2018 Brewers ticket plan. Learn how you can guarantee your spot at Miller Park this postseason. Visit brewers.com/ticket plans.
One away. Here is Eric Thames. Walked and scored in the 2nd inning. He was on when Vogt went deep. Thames sitting on 30. Hasn't been a steady climb to that 30. It's been like an EKG. Hot start. In and out of the lineup through the summer.
Yeah, but 30's 30.
30's 30.
I mean, it's no matter which way you get there, that's 30 homers.
Well, you know what else? The OPS for Thames is at 870. So the season numbers stack up really well. He's had some extreme lows at the plate and some extreme highs. And Craig Counsell even referenced the hopes that a high is coming here for these final 3 weeks. And it's proven true. He homered in back-to-back games against the Pirates. Seeing the ball better, it would appear. Hits that one hard into the alley in left center. That's going to go to the wall. Eric Thames with a double with one away.
There you go. Boy, going to the opposite field. That's always a good sign for any hitter, but a particularly good sign for Eric Thames. Just hammering one out there into the left center field gap. 96 on the corner. It was up, giving Thames a chance to get the barrel of the bat on it. That's a nice short stroke for Thames. Not a lot of movement. Quick to the baseball. A one-out double.
23rd double for Thames to go along with his 30 homers. And here's Stephen Vogt with Thames on once again. 2-2 ball game, top of the 4th inning. Brewers at the plate as the Marlins are the home team. Apologize for the redundancy here. If you've been watching every inch of this game, but as folks come in, it is very strange to see the Brewers batting in the top of innings. Just want to make sure you don't adjust your sets. I'm mostly telling myself that as well. I've already written in the wrong spot on the scorecard 3 times.
Yeah, are they TV sets these days?
Yeah,
the old Magnavox.
Right, the old black and white.
Don't adjust the flat screen up on the wall.
Had a TV with a dial on it. It broke off. We just put vice grips on it.
Yeah, right. Don't need it.
That's how we changed those channels.
300-pound television.
My daughter asked, did you have remote controls back then? I said, yeah, me.
Me, yeah. Let's put it on channel 7.
Dad said, get up, change the channel. Okay, I'll get up.
It's the same thing with garage door openers.
Right.
My father never had lifted the garage door up.
He had a young Bill Schroeder do that.
Get out and open the garage.
That's why I sat so close to the television.
Rain, snow, you name it.
Easier to change. Vogt down the right field line. That's hooking foul. She got a baseball in a Paul Molitor jersey. Yes. Who's going to be the first brave soul to ask if they can see it? You're not giving that up. Now you got to get a picture and get that on Instagram ASAP. Just like when we had the vice grips on the channel change. Broken bat up the middle. That's the shortstop over there, and he makes a play for the. Whoa!
Yeah, he took his time.
Bang,
didn't he?
bang.
He was in no hurry, was Rojas, to make that throw to first base, and Vogt nearly beat it. Barely get him at first base.
I'll take a quick look at this.
Right off the end of the bat, he waits back on it, takes a couple of crow hops, and making that a lot closer than it should have been. Boy, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Looked like he had him. JT Riddle had been the starting shortstop. They traded Echeverria to the Rays. Riddle out with a shoulder injury. So it is Rojas playing short these days. Phillips gets the no pitch intentional walk to bring the pitcher spot up, and Counsell is going to make a move right here, I think.
It was going to be Susac, but he's going back in the dugout. Who's going to pop out?
Looks like VR is hustling to get his stuff together. Yeah, suddenly with runners at first and third, pulls Susac back. Going to go with VR, left-handed batter, a switch hitter who hit lefty against this right-hander Urena.
Yeah, you got to pull him back, Susac, before he gets announced.
One thing I wonder about here is how loose VR is. This is very early to have a pinch hitter, and with a bullpen by committee day, I'm sure the Brewer hitters knew that there would be this possibility, but VR trying to loosen up a little bit.
Well, he's helped by Juan Nieves going out there to have a chat with Urena, give him a little bit extra time. Brewers don't have any problem finding bodies on the bench. I mean, that dugout is packed with guys, both on the bench and in the bullpen.
So Barnes goes 1 inning scoreless, and the bullpen now hustling to get ready as well. Wei-Chung Wong was the last man seen down there. There are 2 outs. Wong has been throwing. Actually, Jared Hughes is throwing as well. We didn't see anybody in our shot, but prior to this, VR takes a ball. .252 hitter is a lefty, the switch hitter. Much better from this side, much more pop from this side. First and third, 2 outs, and it's inside, ball 2. Brewers got 2 in the second. Marlins tied it with 2 in the bottom of the second. Phillips has great speed.
Yeah, good speed. 2-0 count. Not necessarily a great pitch to run on.
Real Muto throws it well. 2-0, and VR is late, fouls it off.
2-1, a much better pitch to run on, though. You might see him take off here.
Two to VR. Phillips staying put. Does have a stolen base in the big leagues. Thames over at third. Eric doubled in the gap, and then the intentional pass to Phillips. VR the pinch hitter in the 4th inning. There he goes. Throw to second. Now in a rundown. Now in a rundown between home and third. And Thames gets back. The throw gets into left. Now Phillips is going to be caught in a rundown. And he's going to be tagged out. Oh, the Brewers just ran themselves right out of it. Phillips thought Thames was going home as that throw got into left field. That was ugly. Inning is over. As Thames was holding his ground at third base, Phillips cut down in the rundown between second and third.
Well, it was with 2 outs. I mean, I think the mistake that Phillips makes is trying to go to third base. I mean, he's in a rundown here. Phillips assuming that Thames is going to try and head home, but that's a good job by Ozuna to back up that play. He was right behind the skin of the infield and was able to keep Thames from scoring, and ends up getting Phillips in the rundown. Got to make sure that guy in front of you is for sure taken off. Can't run him into an out or yourself in that situation, not with 2 outs.
They burn a pinch hitter VR as well, as Wei-Chung Wong will take over on the mound. So you keep Wong in that 9 spot in the batting order, and Council will have to go to another pinch hitter as we go to the top of the 5th inning.
Haven't seen much of Wong. He last pitched on Wednesday against the Pirates and allowed a single to the only batter that he faced. He came in, gave up a base hit to a lefty, and then was taken out.
Still a good slider there to get ahead of Justin Bour. Might be a 1-batter situation here for Wong. With the left-hander Bour in, and a wave and a miss. Another breaking ball. 0-2 the count on the big slugger. Tried another one. Doesn't bite this time.
Yep, Junior Guerra getting loose down in that Brewers bullpen. So you might be right. It might be Bour, and that's it. Guerra might be able to give you multiple innings.
Bour's been out with an oblique strain, just activated last week. And a wave and a miss. He got him. He just stuck with the slider. And Wei-Chung Wong comes up with a K.
That's a good day's work.
It'll be a 1 and done for Wong. And a pitching change. Wong is out, gets the big lefty, and now in comes Junior Guerra with the bottom of the order coming up. With the weather situation elsewhere, back in 07 in April, Angels and Indians snowed out in Cleveland, and they played a series here. Big Travis Hafner. Look at the ivy on the wall. Remember there used to be ivy center field here at Miller Park. That has been replaced. And then the next season, after a hurricane came through Texas, the Astros were the home team against the Chicago Cubs. And the no-hitter by Carlos Zambrano, September 14th. Ted Lilly took a no-hitter into the 7th inning the next day for the Cubs. And so this is the 3rd occasion. This time the Brewers are involved in this one. New pitcher is Junior Guerra, and he will face Brian Anderson to bat with 1 out in this 4th inning.
You never know. You might see Guerra go multiple innings, although his spot leads off. Next inning, maybe not. 13 starts out of 16 appearances for Guerra. And we last saw Junior on Monday against the Pirates toss a scoreless inning.
No balls and a strike on the rookie third baseman. 0-2 the count. There have been a number of games this year where the home team did not play in their normal home park. First one of the year was the Cardinals Pirates game, which was in Williamsport, and then of course the hurricane that came through, Hurricane Harvey, transplanted the Astros series with the Rangers to Tropicana Field in St. Pete, and then Hurricane Hugo here sent the Rays to New York. Yankees Rays, those 3 games were played at Citi Field, the home of the Mets. Baseball always tries to have the neutral site when they can, but apparently that was not an option at this point, and this late. Swing and a miss. Guerra got him. And a couple of Ks in this 4th inning. Guerra strikes out his first batter faced.
And he gets him on the good split fingered fastball. And we saw Jeremy Jeffress throwing the split chains, splits the fingers, and very similar action. That one right off the outside corner to get Anderson to wave at it.
2 outs in the inning. Here is Miguel Rojas. Rojas, the Marlins shortstop, singled his last time up. And a little jam shot, center field, going to fall, a base hit.
Not a bad idea to play it safe. 2 outs, nobody on with a pitcher coming up. Now, you don't want to be diving, have that ball get by and have Rojas end up at third base. Give up the single with 2 outs and nobody on, but not the extra base hit.
Urania takes a strike. Two-two game. Marlins starting pitcher Jose Urania at the plate. He singled in a run his last time up. And he shows bunt, bunts through it. Able to pull it back.
Can't seem to take his eyes off of Shaw way back behind the bag at third base. Both times up, he's kind of peeking down there. Shaw moves up.
Yeah, Shaw's playing a couple steps off the grass this time around.
And he tries to hit one by him.
Breaks his bat, throws it away. I don't know what bat they just gave him, but D. Gordon said, no, don't use that bat. Use this bat.
Yeah, use Ozuna's bat.
I think you were going to use D. Gordon's bat. And after D. Gordon said, you've been up there twice, you've broken 2 bats. I'll give you Ozuna's bat.
And he said, I only have so many. This is a long trip.
No. Here, use this one. 2-2 the count on Urania. And down he goes. A strikeout. All 3 outs courtesy of the K. Guerra with 2 of them. We head to the 5th. Brewers are coming up.
as we head to the 5th here at Miller Park, and there's still a great amount of work to be done in South Florida in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma, and the Brewers are proud to join the relief efforts by partnering with the American Red Cross as it works to provide assistance to impacted communities throughout all of Florida. And Fox Sports Supports is happy to stand with the Red Cross as it depends on financial donations to provide disaster relief. So you can help provide aid to those affected by both Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by going to redcross.org. You can also text the word Red Cross to 90999, and that will be a $10 donation. So certainly we encourage you to stand with the Red Cross. Of course, this series moved here because of the impact of Hurricane Irma. So certainly our thoughts and our well wishes are with all of those who are still recovering from that hurricane going through earlier this week.
All right, Sophia, thank you. Thank you. Good stuff there. And some Marlins fans here and some Brewers fans sending their love and prayers to all the folks in Miami and South Florida. Baseball being played here at Miller Park this weekend, not on the schedule. Got 2 more coming tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow, first pitch at 6:10. 1:10 is Sunday's start, and there are tickets available if you want to come join us. Andrew Susac will bat for the Brewers. Has just 8 plate appearances this year. He's still looking for his first hit in the big leagues this season. Buster Posey's back up with the Giants last year, and a pop up in the infield. Gordon wants it, and the first out. Top of the order coming up, Eric Sogard. How about this play defensively with runners at the corners and 2 outs?
I think he just threw his glove out there hoping that they would find the baseball. They did. Saving a run, maybe 2. Keep in mind that end of the inning, Giancarlo Stanton was coming up had he not made that catch.
Would have been 2 on, a run in. Marlins would have taken the lead, and Stanton coming to bat. Sogard with a gem.
That's what you get out of Eric Sogard. I mean, you don't get a lot of the flashy plays like he just pulled off, but he doesn't make mistakes out there. He's just solid. He's a thinking man's ball player. He puts himself in good spots. Just doesn't make mistakes. A lot like his manager used to be.
Yeah, very similar, right? He's been a part of some winning teams as well, Sogard. Part of those Oakland Athletic postseason teams, he and Stephen Vogt. Knee surgery last year knocked him out for the season. So he signed a minor league deal with the Brewers, in part because Pat Murphy, the bench coach, had a relationship with Sogard from their time together at Arizona State. Sogard looked at the landscape, figured he had a chance to play in the big leagues as a middle infielder, and he was right. Brewers had him in the minor leagues to start the year, the first month of the season. He lines one into center field, a base hit. Sogard with a 1-out single, and the Brewers put the go-ahead run on in the 5th inning.
He's got 3 home runs to Sogard. He hit those really early when he first got called up. He's surprised even himself. This is what he does. He puts the bat on the baseball, hits it where it's pitched, goes down and gets that 2-seamer that was trying to get away from him, and hits it hard into center field. That's just a pretty swing.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's, Neil Walker singled in the first inning to right field, grounded out his next time up. The kind of pop in the lineup, hitting second in the lineup that Counsell loves. Somebody who can be a home run threat, get a quick strike. It's a pretty sweet spot in the order, hitting in front of Braun as well.
And Don Mattingly has the ultimate power hitter hitting in the number 2 spot tonight.
That was really part of the change for Stanton when his season changed, and he caught fire when he was moved into the 2 spot in the batting order. 98 games into that, and no reason to change at this point for Stanton, who's hit 54 homers. 43 of those as a number 2 hitter. 2 balls, no strikes on Walker. Sogard is a threat to run. Walker combined is at 13 home runs this season. Started his year with the Mets. As a member of the Brewers, Walker's hit 3 home runs. All 3 of those coming as a left-handed batter. 2-2 game, top of the 5th. Walker fouls it away. Neal spent a month on the disabled list with the Mets with a hamstring injury. Had a partial tear in his hamstring. Thus the 13 home runs. Maybe a little lower than what you'd expect from a Neal Walker type, but he was down a month, and then as he was coming back, he was really struggling to swing the bat, trying to get his timing back without his legs under him. He got hot right before the Brewers made the trade for him, though, and he's done a good job here in Milwaukee.
He's come up with some big hits, particularly early on when he got traded.
That was an August deal the Brewers made with the Mets for Walker. Had to clear waivers first, which he did. That was August 12th. And Walker swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. 2 outs in the inning. Sogard still at first, and here comes Braun. Well, tomorrow, Cody Bellinger, the likely NL Rookie of the Year, will lead the Dodgers against the Nationals, the division-winning Nationals, 11:30 a.m. on Fox. Also, the Mariners and the Astros at 11:30 on Fox. Just check your local listings. And then at 2:30, the Royals and the Indians on FS1.
Kansas City beating Cleveland right now, bottom of the 7th. Dramatic win for Cleveland last night.
That's not supposed to happen. The Indians trailing in a game. They've won 22 straight. Set an American League record. Braun with 2 away. Sogard at first. Missed inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Braun will be looking to launch one right here. 2-0 is the count. And he took a big swing and missed it. 96 up in the strike zone.
Yeah, even up in the zone, even at 2-0. See, Braun's talking to himself. Gonna make him get that pitch down in the zone a little bit.
Braun looking for his first hit of this homestand. He didn't play in Wednesday's game. Started the first 2. Played his college ball in Miami. There's a lot of fans still in the Miami area. Rumor was his no trade clause included a couple of West Coast teams like the Dodgers, maybe the Padres, and the Marlins. Tells you his affinity for Miami. High school on the West Coast, college ball on the East Coast. And he's made a name for himself as a big leaguer here in the upper Midwest.
Yep.
11th season with the Brewers. Ryan Braun
setting all kinds of records is Brawny.
Sitting on 300 home runs still. And that's inside, ball 4. That'll put 2 men on. And it'll bring up the Brewers' best run producer in Travis Shaw. Shaw also looking for his first hit on the homestand. He's 0 for 9. And Don Mattingly is on his way out. He's going to go to the bullpen for a lefty here. So his starter unable to get through 5. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Mattingly and the Marlins are into the bullpen as well. And a matchup coming for Travis Shaw. We'll set it up right after this. And 2 away, and Don Mattingly is going to go to his left-hander in the bullpen. Shaw with 29 home runs on the year, 1 behind Thames, who homered in back-to-back games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So Shaw will face Yarlin Garcia now, 64th appearance of the season, partner.
Yeah, he's given up 3 home runs to left-handers. He leads the Marlins bullpen in appearances. Even coming off the disabled list, he was on a 10-day DL for a while. No shortage of arms in either bullpen tonight, and that is an understatement.
September call-up time. Plenty of tools in the tool shed, as they say. Brewers have 12 in their bullpen. Big spot here. Shaw up there with 2 on. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Travis. Well, he's lining up for a 30-plus homer season. 90 RBIs for Shaw. If he gets hot, he could drive in triple digits this year. Brewers would love to see that.
Only 10 more. And one to hit right there.
Shaw was 3 times named Brewer Player of the Month. May, June, and July.
He's got the lucky red gloves back on tonight.
Carry over from his Red Sox days. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sogard and Braun on the bases. 2-2 now. Shaw's last homer was that 2-run blast off Kyle Hendricks at Wrigley Field last Sunday. Full count to Shaw. You got a right-hander in Santana due next. Mattingly does have action in his bullpen. So much strategy so early in this game by both managers. It's got a playoff feel to it. Full count, runners go, and Shaw strikes out. He got him with a breaking ball. Inning is over. Brewers strand 2, still tied at 2.
The Brewers and the Marlins. Time now for our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile, a series we're all keeping an eye on. Cubs and Cardinals at Wrigley Field, an 8-2 win for the Cubs, but some drama involved as John Lackey and Wilson Contreras were ejected in the 5th inning after arguing with home plate umpire Jordan Baker. That came in an at-bat to pitcher Carlos Martinez. Lackey thought it was a called strike. It was instead called a ball. That led to an RBI single by Martinez. The Cubs would rally with 7 runs in the 6th for that win. And the Boston Red Sox were fined an undisclosed amount for sending electronic communication for the purpose of stealing signs. That came back from an August series against the Yankees. But the good news is that the funds from those fines will go to hurricane relief. So all for a good cause.
Yeah, fine them and then give the money to a good cause for sure. That's great. Thanks, Sophia. Josh Hader is in this game as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Craig Counsell puts him in the spot in the game where he might be able to give him 2 innings. Hopefully the Brewers get something going in the next inning. Might have to take him out, but Counsell figuring he'd like to get a couple out of Hader tonight.
Well, Hader will face the top of the order, which means Giancarlo Stanton in this 2-2 game. This is the spot. Bottom of the 5th. Gordon, Stanton, Yelich due up. And Hader puts away D. Gordon with a big fastball. The last 4 outs and 5 of the last 6 outs for Brewer pitchers have been strikeouts.
Hey, Hader last pitched on Tuesday against the Pirates, retired the only 2 batters that he faced. That was to end the 8th inning. That was kind of an interesting way Craig Counsell used his bullpen in that game. Swarzak for an inning in the 3rd. Hader retired the last 2 in the 8th, and then he brought in Knebel.
Well, this is the matchup you love to see here. One of the game's premier sluggers against the rookie flamethrower. Hader against Stanton, and Stanton way late on that one.
Hey, just hope he doesn't get good extension, because power on power, you never know.
Stanton top 2 in the National League in a lot of the major categories. Leads the league in homers by a long shot. Leads the majors in homers. Tops in slugging percentage and extra base hits. 2nd in runs scored to Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies. 2nd behind Arenado in RBIs.
Scored 111 runs, driven in 113. Heck of a season.
OPS over 1,000. And the summer months for Giancarlo Stanton, July and August, just incredible power. Well, that fastball is eating him alive, though. That was a 3-1 hitter's count, and Hader blew it right by him.
Got him up in the zone. You get that pitch down about 4 or 5 inches, it might be a different story.
Full count. And he got him. Hader goes right back to the spot. This time at 97. And back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, this time a little bit higher in the zone, but it was a strike. He worked that big fastball up in the strike zone. He started him out with a slider, and that was the only off-speed pitch that he threw, and finally getting him on a big fastball up around the letters.
Best fastball he's thrown, 97. 2 outs. Here's Christian Yelich. Good. Ate him up with a fastball. He fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Yelich. Don Mattingly was so disappointed at the effort level of the Marlins in their series against the Phillies that he sat a few guys, including Yelich, just trying to get restarted. I mean, fully understanding there's so much going on back home. Marlins coming here ready to play this series, though. I think they're excited about being in an environment like this, at least when you talk to their players.
Yeah.
They would tell you that.
That's what it's all about, playing in a ballpark that has some buzz to it, and certainly Miller Park has that.
There's a strike. 2-2. Well, the Marlins had won 13 of 16. They were right there with the Brewers in the wild card race, trailing the Colorado Rockies, but they have lost 15 of their last 17 games. Swing and a miss. Josh Hader strikes out the side. Starts D. Gordon with a big fastball. Then he gives Stanton the high heat. And a breaking ball on Yelich. And around here we say the Marlins got a little taste of the Haterade. Brewers, the visiting team in this relocated series at Miller Park, head to the top of the 6th inning. Hey, a reminder, you can join Fox Sports Wisconsin for the Greater Milwaukee Heart and Stroke Walk and 5K run. It benefits the American Heart Association, and it happens on Sunday, September 17th, coming up in a couple of days. It'll be at Veterans Park in Milwaukee's lakefront. FoxSportsWisconsin.com/events for more details. Domingo Santana leads off for the Brewers. 2-2 game. Brewers have had a couple of men on in the last 2 innings and have been unable to score. There's a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. The left-hander Garcia continues. Struck out Travis Shaw with runners at the corners last inning. Marlins traded away their best relievers, and they've had problems in their bullpen. One of the areas of concern for the Marlins. So far, they've got zeros on the board, though. Garcia punches out Santana.
That borderline up and in right there, and Santana didn't like that call. Too close to take with 2 strikes. Good pitch, though, by Garcia. 95 up and in.
First out of the inning. Couple of Ks for Garcia. First 2 batters. Facing Thames now, dealing strike 1. Brewers got 2 in the top of the 2nd. Thames was a part of that. He walked to start the inning, and then Vogt hit a 2-run homer. Marlins pieced together a broken bat rally in the 2nd inning. Hit a few flares, a couple of broken bat grounders, and scored 2 runs. Took a great catch by Sogard to keep the damage at 2, though. Made a beautiful over the shoulder catch. And we've been stuck there since.
Brewers bullpen continues to be stingy. Miami bullpen not too bad. They're about middle of the pack in the National League as far as ERA goes. The bullpen has been much better than their starting rotation.
Well, they had Ramos go on and Phelps and Bear Claw and those three at the back end of their pen in the first half before the trade deadline. They were about as good as it gets once you get to the 7th inning. Phelps traded to the Mariners, Ramos to the Mets. Leaves Bear Claw as the closer. Thames has worked it full now. He was down 0-2, now 3-2. Eric's had a good night. He's walked, he's doubled. He's up there with one away. Oh, drilled him. Well, Thames hit on the hand at 95 miles an hour.
He's smiling.
Angry smile. Took one off his foot on a foul ball earlier, and this time gets him on the hand.
And he says he's okay.
Oh man, right on top of the right hand.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He hangs right in there. He really doesn't give an inch, does he? I mean, he just stays right in there against those lefties, and that one bores right in on him, and he'll get first base. So he's been on each time tonight.
Assistant athletic trainer Dave Yeager out to examine that right hand for Thames. So much can go wrong in that area. It looks like Thames is all right. That's a good sign. How many players every year do we see take one up and in like that and end up with a broken bone? That hamate bone sticks out there like that as well.
Yeah, a lot of little bones in that area.
Well, Thames is on. Having a chat with Carlos Subero. And here comes Stephen Vogt, another lefty. I suppose it's too early for Counsell to get into his right-handed hitters. Maybe if the Brewers had a lead, it would be different, but you plow through this part of it with the left-hander Garcia, and then you'll end up with the matchups in your favor.
Well, he's done it before. He's made these moves early in games, early as the 6th inning.
Vogt's actually swung the bat pretty well against left-handers as a member of the Brewers. 5 for 12 against left-handed pitching. Doesn't get a whole lot of opportunities, but he's handled the bat well. Vogt hit a 2-run blast in the 2nd. His 6th home run. No doubt about this one. He got down 0-2, then worked it into a 2-2 count. And then he destroys one into the Toyota territory.
Yeah, slider down and in. See you later.
Put the Brewers on the board first today. In the air, a little routine fly ball to Ozuna for the 2nd out.
That's ordinarily an easy play for a shortstop, but with the shift, Rojas not even in the vicinity.
And another left-hander coming up in Brett Phillips. Cubs won earlier today, beat the Cardinals. Brewers need a win to get a game clear of St. Louis and to keep pace with Chicago. Right now the Brewers are 3.5 back, trying to stay within 3 of the Chicago Cubs. Nationals have already clinched the East Division. Dodgers have a magic number of 7 now to clinch the West. Dodgers have gotten it turned around now. Brewers were hoping the Dodgers would get it turned around about 4 days earlier than they did.
Yeah, right.
They got swept by the Rockies, who the Brewers are chasing in the wild card race. Rockies are in San Diego tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Phillips. That's in there. 1-2.
See, the Twins hit home runs in 7 consecutive innings against San Diego.
Oh my goodness.
A couple of nights ago.
And Miguel Sano was not involved in that. He's still injured. By the way, that San Diego Rockies game is in Colorado. I beg your pardon. 4-0 Rockies in the 5th inning at home. Twins are right there, man. They're holding down that #2 spot in the wild card race.
Yeah. Tied
with the Blue Jays tonight, 3-3 in the 7th. They are in Minnesota. 2-2 to Phillips. Pulls it foul. Cleveland Indians' 22-game winning streak is in jeopardy. They are down at home 4-3 to the Royals. 9th inning. Going to the bottom of the 9th, actually. Two outs, 2-2 game. 2-2 count. And a called strike 3. Phillips is rung up. And the lefty-lefty matchups. Brewers struggle. Bottom of the 6th. All systems go at Miller Park tonight in this relocated series. Even have the sausage race. Chorizo put on quite the performance. These three in the back, though, the brat, the Italian, and the hot dog, I want to consider a swap
They
for
really didn't know
tomorrow's.
there was a game at Miller Park tonight.
I think those are the replacement weenies.
You know, the Marlins there in Marlins Park, they have, you know, the seahorse, the starfish, and what is it, the shark, something else?
Something like that.
I think they were invited here, but they had other plans.
Billy the Marlin was invited.
Right.
He's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
He's a good one. Marlins, the home team, batting here in the bottom of the 6th. Marcell Ozuna facing Josh Hader. And he pops it up. Walker looking for some help. He's got 2 to help him out there, and it'll be Santana to bring it in. Hader's retired 4 straight, struck out the side in the 5th.
The other one's the octopus. I just remembered.
Ah, you just remembered.
Yeah, sorry. Took me a minute.
Imitation is the finest form of flattery. We see all the imitators. The best race, though, that has been brought to us lately is Mr. Freeze. Is the race in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's got some staying power.
I think we're talking about David Freeze. He was here this
week.
week.
With the Pirates. Mr. Freeze should race David Freeze. No contest. What? Hader pours in a strike on Real Muto. Looking ahead to the 7th inning, the Brewers will have the pitcher spot coming up. And then to the top of the order, Sogard, Walker. Don Mattingly has action in his bullpen. A right-hander getting loose. The left-hander Garcia did a terrific job. Got 4 outs,
Yes, he did.
3 strikeouts.
I think Craig Counsell left his left-handed hitters in the lineup. I think if the Brewers were down a run or 2, I think he would have made the move. He would have had the right-handers come up, but I think he just kind of, holding serve, getting through the lineup, maybe waiting to use those right-handed batters a little bit later.
See if the move pays off. 0-2 the count. Got him. Hader strikes out another one. That's number 4 for Josh Hader, and 2 gone in the 6th.
Just rearing back and letting her fly. Real Muto way behind this fastball, and that one had plenty of the plate outer half, and 4 strikeouts for Hader. I mean, he's plowed through some pretty good hitters.
Telling you what, this Marlins ball club can swing the bats. There's been no problem with their offense as he spins one in on Bohr, buckled his knees. Second matchup with a lefty for Justin Bohr. Wei-Chung Wong struck him out with sliders in the 4th inning. Threw him 4 consecutive sliders. Fastball in there, strike 2.
Borderline on the outside corner, but I think the pitch before that was a strike. Didn't get the call, so he's even.
Hader's ready to go. Bohr stepped out. Rocking back and forth. 1-2 the count. And a fastball just missed.
Didn't like that one. Pretty close to the same spot.
Hader said, he liked it last time. Let me try to hit it again.
Well, Bohr's thinking I can't hit that anyway, so I hope it's a ball.
2-2. Breaking ball. Got him. The slider from Josh Hader. 6 up, 6 down, 5 punch outs for Hader. Sends us to the 7th inning. Electric stuff, this guy. Stephen Vogt, a 2-run blast in the top of the 2nd. Put the Brewers on the board. Stephen Vogt with his 6th home run, and then the Marlins found some holes, had a few little jam shots off Jeremy Jeffress. Were able to score twice, including an RBI broken bat hit by the pitcher, Urena. Bohr had the other, and it could have been worse. This play by Sogard, you're going to see this one all over the highlight reels tonight. That was one of the best. we have seen from the shortstop position this year. Eyes in the back of his head. Eric Sogard saved a run.
Yeah, good job by Phillips to get out of the way. That could have been a bad collision.
New pitcher rock is Drew Steckenrider here as we go to the 7th.
Yeah, big dude. He got called up from AAA on July 26th. This is his 4th different time he's been with the Marlins. Yeah, big right-hander, throws hard. Got a bunch of hard throwers down in that Marlins pen.
It's the all-name bullpen. Steckenrider, Bearclaw. Hernan Perez is pinch hitting. Josh Hader's day is done. What a performance tonight from Hader. 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down, struck out 5. And through the heart of the Marlins batting order as well. Perez into left center. Ozuna gives it a run, and he makes the catch up against the wall. Marcell Ozuna flags one down, took extra bases away from Perez.
Yeah, sounded like he got it down on the end of the bat a little bit, just enough to keep it in the ballpark. And I think Ozuna had that one measured the whole way. Yep, right down on the end. It was a slider. Nearly hit one out of here. Ozuna a couple of steps from the wall.
Remember, Ozuna came up, played center field for the Marlins. He's an excellent outfielder. Big arm. Top of the order now. Here is Sogard. And he takes a strike. Third Marlins pitcher Steckenrider. The Brewers have used 5 pitchers. Jeffress and Hader going 2 innings apiece. Barnes worked a scoreless inning. Wong got 1 batter. Junior Guerra finished that 4th inning, 2/3 of an inning with 2 Ks. Earned runs belong to Jeffress, both coming in that 2nd inning. And Sogard's worked it into a 3-1 count. Full count. Sogard had a single his last time up. Base hit to center. He's 1 for 3. And he takes ball 4 on again. Twice on base for the Brewer leadoff hitter.
Yeah, late movement had that one off the outside corner.
Sogard on for Neil Walker. Walker struck out his last time up. Does have a hit tonight. He singled in the 1st. First time the Brewers have ever seen Drew Steckenrider.
Guy had some good numbers down in the minor leagues. Down in AAA, 26 appearances, a 162 earned run average. Had 5 saves.
Real Muto on his way out to chat with him. He was called up in late May, 3rd week of May. Big league debut is against the A's on May 24th. Some pretty good numbers. He's had a couple of nice streaks, had a long consecutive scoreless inning streak in the month of August, went 8 2/3 without giving up a run. 7th in strikeouts. He's 3rd in ERA among rookie relievers in the National League. 2-0 is the count on Walker. Outside, ball 3.
Maybe look for something middle in, something you can turn on. Maybe whistle one down that right field line and watch Sogard run.
How about ball 4? Puts 2 on. First and second with 1 out, and here comes Braun.
Yeah, a lot of walks issued by the Marlins tonight.
Braun expecting Don Mattingly to make a pitching change. He has not come out yet. Now going to be a visit to the mound. Is this an injury visit? The athletic trainer's heading out.
Is there anybody loosening up in the bullpen?
Yeah, Juan Nieves is walking out with him. Nobody's been throwing. So this is an injury visit, not an official visit to the mound.
Second round said, "What are you doing out here? I'm fine."
I don't know if this is the case or not, but I have known managers in the past that have sent the athletic trainer out to say, "Are you hurt?" "No." "Then stop pitching like it."
Either that or he walked a couple of guys, nobody getting loose. Said, "Yes, you're hurt. I need somebody in here."
So here's Braun. Big spot right now. This is the focal point of the Brewers offense. He's been the face of the franchise. And these are the spots that Braun has been delivering for a long time for the Brewers. They need him here.
Pretty good pitch on the outside corner, down and away. Ryan thought it was off the plate.
Braun is 0 for 2. Walked his last time up. Got Shaw due up next. 2 on, 1 away. 2-2 game. Brewers trying to take the lead here in the 7th. Braun had 2 days off. The team off day yesterday. Did not play in the game on Wednesday. These are days after off days that he also has had success. Hey, chased one. 0-2 the count on Braun.
Man, one of his best fastballs so far, up in the zone.
Sogard and Walker on the base paths. Back-to-back walks. 1 man out. Inside, almost hit him.
He just doesn't have real good command on that arm side fastball right there. I mean, it seems to be starting on the corner and then with that late movement missing off the edge. The Brewers have been taking that pitch. Let's see if he leaves one out over the plate here for Braun.
Young pitcher up and down 4 times this year. And Braun chased. Well, you don't see Ryan do that very often. That's a big out for Steckenrider.
Got him twice on that pitch up in his zone.
Second out. Still 2 on, and here comes Travis Shaw once again.
Yeah, that was way up out of the strike zone. 97 with that fastball, and Braun tried to get on top of it, just couldn't. Behind it.
Leaves it up to Shaw here with 2 outs. Cut it a miss. Brewers have stranded 6 in this game. Shaw left 2 on with a strikeout in the 5th. Got a shot at redemption here. Sitting on 90 ribbies this season. Brewers looking for their first hit with a runner in scoring position. The runs that are on the board, a 2-run homer by Vogt with Thames at first base, came in the second inning. Marlins tied it in the bottom of the second. 0-2 the count on Shaw with 2 on. And that one just misses. And a lot of fastballs from Steckenrider.
He threw the slider to Perez. Memory almost hit it out of the ballpark.
Both runners will be ready to go on the crack of the bat with 2 outs. And Shaw strikes out, and the inning is over. Steckenrider gets Braun and Shaw with 2 on, and the Brewers come up empty. 2 more left. The original light beer. And by Chevy, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com today to find a dealer near you. Stretch time at Miller Park. Marlins coming up, bottom of the 7th inning. Vogt with a 2-run homer. Game tied at 2. Don't forget, tomorrow on FS1, Northern Illinois takes on Nebraska, and then on Fox, you'll see the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on Army. It's followed by the rematch, 11 years in the making, Texas and USC. First time since the 2006 Rose Bowl, which I attended, by the way. College football on FS1 and Fox. Every game is everything. Vince Young. Manny Pena will take over behind the plate. That spot will be due up second in the 8th inning. New pitcher is Jared Hughes.
Yeah, good numbers for Hughes. 61st appearance. Brewers use him a lot. 335 earned run average. I saw Hughes on Wednesday against the Pirates.
He's had a good slider going here lately. Hughes facing Brian Anderson, the Marlins rookie third baseman. 0-2 the count, and a foul out of play.
6th pitcher used by Craig Counsell here tonight. Good job by the bullpen once again in a bullpen game. They won the first 2 that they've done this.
More arms available, including Matt Garza, who is active in the bullpen these days. This is where a spot, though, the manager, navigating his way through this game, desperate for his offense to take a lead in this game so he can give the ball to Swarzak and then Knebel. Concern in a 2-2 game this late. even though you're in September call-up time and you have some length with extra innings, but managers, especially Counsell now with Jimmy Nelson out, get very anxious having to use your best relievers and then not come away with a victory. Tapper to the mound, the 6-7 Hughes, no problem. One away.
Yeah, you have a bullpen game like this. Swarzak, Hader, Knebel come in. You almost have to win it, or it's kind of a. Not only do you lose, this game, but you're in jeopardy of losing the next game because you use those 3 guys. You figure after 2 innings tonight, Hader not available tomorrow for an extended use.
Yeah, the Brewers do not have another off day until the 25th of September, which is their last off day before that final stretch of 6 games in a row to finish the year. There's a strike to Rojas. 10 days without an off day. Every manager this time of year is counting on their offense to give them some breathers with their bullpen, some big run production. That's what's been so amazing about the Indians, who lost, by the way. They got beat by the Royals tonight at home. Their 22-game winning streak is over. They scored so many runs during that 22-game winning streak that Terry Francona didn't have to use his best relievers every day or 3 consecutive days. So it was a double win. Not only were they winning games, but they were saving their bullpen, and they did most of that, all of that, without Andrew Miller available. He's been on the disabled list.
Yeah, that winning streak, what, the starters won 19 of them, right? I mean, something like that. That's what you're talking about. They get a lead, they hold it, the starter's able to go deep.
Outscored their opponent in that winning streak by nearly 5 runs per game on average. 1-2 pitch. Rojas swings and misses. A strikeout for Hughes. 2 up, 2 down.
Boy, how about this run for the pen lately? Ever since Guerra had a couple of strikeouts. Wong struck a guy out. Hader. Bunch of punch outs for these guys.
Ichiro announced to a big ovation here at Miller Park. A future Hall of Famer. Still doing his thing with the Marlins. He's leading baseball in pinch hits this season. And he's pinch hitting here with 2 outs. Says he wants to keep playing. He's in great shape.
And nobody better, I mean, both at the plate and right field than Ichiro in his day. Incredible hand-eye coordination.
He'll turn 44 in October. 26 hits off the bench. Little chopper over to first base. Thames is there, and Hughes keeps the line moving. 3 up and 3 down. This story of the bullpen has been a big one tonight. See if the Brewers can get some runs.
Reminder, the tickets are still available for this weekend's matchup with the Marlins as the Brewers continue their 3-game series as the visiting team at Miller Park tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And again on Sunday afternoon at 1. Tickets are just $10 at brewers.com/Marlins.
Brewers are coming up. We head to the 8th inning. Brian Ellington is the next Miami pitcher.
That's one.
That one came out.
That's one. I said it on the old school. I said that on the post-game show on Wednesday.
I thought I'd cleared that from the mechanism.
Kashan slapped my wrist.
The Miami Marlins reliever Brian Ellington.
Yeah, big hard throw. This guy, triple-digit guy. He's made 3 career appearances against the Brewers.
Santana breaks his bat on the first offering, which comes in at 100.
Averaging almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings this year.
Not the greatest way to start an at-bat if you're Santana. One of his favorite bats is gone.
How many bats have we seen break in the last 2 games?
I'm telling you.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think we're getting to the bottom of the barrel with the quality of bat. Or maybe all these pitchers are coming up just bringing it.
Yeah, that Pirate game on Wednesday, how many did we see? About 7 broken bats? Both teams I'm talking about, maybe more than that.
Marlins had a couple of runs on broken bat hits. Santana dialing it up, and he swings and misses at another triple-digit fastball. Oh, and 2 the count on Domingo. Got him. 3 pitches and a strikeout. Last 3 outs for the Marlins are strikeouts.
Yeah, think about the the last few innings, all the strikeouts between both offenses. Brewer pitchers have struck out a lot of Marlins, and same for the Marlin pitching staff as well.
Brewers have 10 Ks in the last 5 innings as a pitching staff. Marlins pitchers with 9 strikeouts. As we play in the 8th, here's Thames now, 1 away. 2-2 game. It's been that way since the 2nd inning. Thames to right on a line. It's up and it's gone. A home run for Eric Thames. And the Brewers take the lead 3-2. Number 31 for Thames, and it gives Milwaukee the lead in the 8th.
Well, he turns around a fastball at 100 miles an hour. I mean, how many home runs have you seen hit on a fastball at 100? Not many. My goodness.
Spot. And the book on Thames when he came from Korea was how is he going to handle velocity?
Yeah, well,
handled it just well right there. That was something. Turned on a triple-digit fastball.
Just smoked it down the line. A line drive. Only question, was it going to be high enough? It was hooking as it got out to the fence.
Came in at 100, left at 104 miles an hour. Manny Pena batting for the first time now. 3-2 Brew Crew in the 8th. Pena into center field. That ball's going to fall, a base hit. Manny Pena with a single. That had a weird spin to it, or maybe no spin.
Knuckler.
And just dropped straight down.
Yeah, knuckleball out there.
Dame still jacked up over there. Key home run. Boy, mark that one. If the Brewers make it to the postseason, that'll be one you remember. Breaking a 2-2 tie.
3 straight games now for Eric Thames with home runs.
Mattingly's out to the home plate umpire Ryan Addington, and they're They're going to make a double switch here. I don't know.
Is anybody getting loose? I mean, I'm not quite sure. Is anybody loosening up?
It feels more like an argument, but
not sure what his issue is, but he's going to go over and talk to Bill Miller.
Bill Miller is the crew chief, the third base umpire. Has to do with Pena. It has to be the relay of the information on the substitution last inning. I'm sure Mattingly thought it was a double switch, I would guess. It's the only thing I can think of.
And the umpires are saying nope, they had it right.
Straight up change for the umpires, meaning Pena in a straight change for vote.
So Don Mattingly is trying to get a batting out of order type situation here.
That's what managers do, right? They wait till see the result and then. All right, so now Mattingly's coming back out, and he's going to bring Bill Miller over as well. You're going to protest this game, Rock. Don Mattingly just said he's going to protest the game.
Well, they had it up on the scoreboard correctly. Apparently, the Marlins had assumed it was going to be a double switch. Not sure why.
I haven't seen the official indication from the umpire that the game's under protest. Normally they will spell out a P with their hand. And now, boy, these umpires, now somebody may have just got tossed on the Marlins bench. I don't know. The umpires are barking at the Marlins bench right now.
Freddie Gonzalez over there on the Marlins bench.
Former Marlins manager, former Braves manager as well.
Rick Council showing the lineup card. This is what we had. At Pena in the number 7 spot.
Much ado about nothing. All right, here we go. Back at it. Brett Phillips at the plate. Got a runner at first. And that ball's in the air, center field. Phillips deep to center. It is caught by Yelich. What a play. Boy, Yelich flying back. Now Pena has to hustle back.
What a catch.
Man, he was way over into left center. He went a long way for that one. Great catch.
Well, Manny Pena had gone beyond the bag at second and had a difficult time re-tagging the bag. I'll tell you, if you're throwing 100 miles an hour and nothing else, it shows you right here that these guys can turn that around, and just a little bit on the end. Yelich with a nice catch out there, deepest part of the ballpark. But Pena able to get back.
Well, he just glides, doesn't he? Now Craig Counsell's on his way. It's going to be an interesting post-game press conference here, because this is obviously has to do with what was delivered as far as the lineup change, because now you have the pitcher spot coming up. Mattingly, I'm guessing, felt it was a double switch, or was told it was a double switch.
And Jet Bandy grabbing a bat.
What is the order there, Rock? You go out, the manager goes out, gives the change to the umpire.
Right.
If it's a double switch, you go to the home plate umpire.
You go to home plate umpire and you make the defensive switch first. You don't make the pitching change first.
And then the responsibility of the umpire, the home plate umpire, then is to go over to the other manager Right.
And they'll do the double switch,
Right.
and it's kind of a hand signal.
So I guess the question is, did the home plate umpire, a rookie umpire, do that? Jet Bandy.
Well, he shouldn't have done that because it wasn't a double
Right.
switch.
Which is what I think what Don Mattingly's point was. And you could see him say, I want to put this game under protest, but they never gave the signal that it's under protest.
I'm not sure you can.
Right. So maybe
it's not a rules interpretation. The only thing you can protest is a rules interpretation that one of the umpires feels as though the umpires got a rule wrong. That's the only way you can protest.
the most famous of the protests, the pine tar situation with George Brett and the Yankees. Felt they had the rules wrong. They replayed that game. Rarely goes that way, though. Protests usually go for naught.
Yeah, right. They never really change anything except for that situation you're talking.
Brewers have used all four of their catchers here tonight with Bandy pinch hitting. Susac, Bandy, Vogt was the starter. Pena is in the game now behind the plate. He's at first. 2-0 to Jet Bandy. 3 balls, no strikes. Well, the Brewers have it set up now. They have taken the lead, got their best 2 relievers ready. Marlins will be at the top of their batting order in the 8th. Gordon, Stanton, and Yelich. He walked him on 4 pitches.
And nobody getting loose in the Marlins pen. Brewers have been getting some pretty good contact in this inning.
Top of the order here is Sogard. Pena at second base, Bandy at first. Brewers have taken the lead on a Thames homer in this inning. Tried a little off-speed pitch. Pretty good 2-day crowd here.
Man, no kidding, huh?
19,000 plus attending this game.
They're into it.
19,369 is the official attendance gathered together in 2 days. Noon Wednesday, it was announced there would be games here this weekend.
An incredible response from the folks in Wisconsin. Wow, tip your hat. And they're into it.
They are into it. A great vibe in this ballpark. It's what the Brewers were hoping for. They didn't ask for the games, but they gladly take them here at Miller Park. 2-0 the count. Sogard at the plate. Brewers looking for some insurance. And a throw to second. Back is Pena. Pitch was high, ball 3. Got a gift. And looked outside.
Let's see if Sogard take advantage of it. 3-1 count, maybe get a pitch. Get yourself a base hit and an RBI.
3 balls and a strike. Full count now. That'll put the runners in motion. Brian Ellington giving up a homer. 2 on, 2 out. 3-2 count. There they go, and it's outside. Ball 4. Bases loaded. 2 hits, 2 walks in the inning. And they're all loaded up as Neil Walker steps up, trying to deliver a knockout punch. Counsell goes back out to the home plate umpire. Now he's going to put Arcia in the game to run for Bandy.
You figure Arcia is going to stay in the game at short. Sogard goes over to second base. That's normally what Counsell does late in the game with a lead.
That 9th spot in the Brewers batting order has been busy.
Yeah, right. 6 guys now.
And if you count the pitchers, 10. The pitchers that didn't bat on their feet here. Bases loaded for Walker. In there, a strike quiets him down for the time being.
It's such a nice, easy delivery for Ellington, and ball just jumps out of his hand 99 miles an hour. Just haven't been able to throw anything else in this inning.
Walker can get to the high velocity fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one is low. Boy, that looked like a good pitch.
Yeah.
Changes the at bat here. Instead of 1 and 2, it's 2 and 1 now.
Took a little off. 88 miles an hour with that pitch. Trying to find something off speed to throw is Ellington.
Pena, Arcia, Sogard, the base runners. And that's deep, right center field. Neil Walker has hit one out. It's a grand slam. Goosebumps.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
One of those moments, one of the signature moments of the year at Miller Park. Braun at the plate, takes a ball. How about that, partner? Grand slam, Neil Walker.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? I mean, he got a fastball down in the zone and able to knock it out of here. Well, these guys are something else.
7-2 Brewers. Been a 5-run inning.
Yeah, 3 home runs in the game.
And Braun into right field, a base hit.
100 miles an hour. The Brewers have been able to turn around 100 miles an hour here tonight.
Neil Walker delivering his Brewers moment. They're still chanting his name. This guy's been a part of some big games. He's played the postseason with the Pirates. He just delivers a monster home run for the Brewers.
No kidding. Wow.
Pitching change. Ellington is out. Neil Walker with a grand slam makes it 7-2. Brewers still at it in the 8th inning. Miller Park with a grand slam. His 4th homer as a Brewer, his 3rd career grand slam. And this was the Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game, and it had some heat on it as it went over the wall.
Well, he got it down in the zone and was able to get the barrel of the bat on it. And just a huge at-bat for the Brewers. The Brewers have been able to turn around 100 miles an hour consistently in this inning. Now you try to come up with some witty things to say about a moment like that. You're best off just letting the whole thing play out, right? What is there to say that can make that moment any better here at the ballpark?
That was special. That's up there among the best moments I've ever experienced at Miller Park, especially when you consider the circumstances and putting this crowd together in just 2 days and how loud it was in here. Man, there might be 19,000 here, but it sounded like 40.
Yeah. And getting their money's worth for sure. I mean, $10 tickets. Wow.
Travis Shaw at the plate. Braun singled after the Walker home run. So now if you're Craig Counsell and what this does, a 5-run lead, what it does to your mindset trying to get to the finish line. The Brewers, of course, the visiting team in this series, so still 6 defensive outs away from a win. That one's lined into right field. That's down, a base hit. What an inning. Another hit. Both Braun and Shaw come up with their first hits of the homestand. And the Brewers batting around in this 8th. Shaw snapping an 0 for 12.
Well, the bad stretches for Travis Shaw do not last very long. That's such a nice swing.
McGowan will face Santana now.
This inning started with a strikeout. Santana went down swinging.
Yeah, the 2 outs in the inning, Santana and Phillips. Remember, Phillips hit one deep to center. Yelich made a great catch, running catch, just shy of the wall in center field. 0-2 the count to Santana. Two on, 2 out, 7-2 Brewers on 9 hits. Five of them coming in this inning. Just marvel at the ability for these big league hitters to turn around 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Yeah, right. Well, when they're not throwing anything else, I mean, you can dial it up, no matter how hard they throw it.
1-2 the count. Santana in the air, left center. That is way back. There she goes. 3-run blast. An 8-run inning. 10-2 Milwaukee.
Oh, when it rains, it pours, huh?
It's the 4th 8-run inning of the season, the 2nd in the last week.
Yep, a mistake. He got one up in the strike zone, and Santana able to pull the hands in, and all hands knocks it out of here. My goodness.
And for Domingo, number 25 on the year. Every home run is a new career best. 74 RBIs. The 10th batter of the inning. Santana, a 3-run home run. Brewers had an 8-run inning against the Cubs last Sunday, or rather last Saturday, and then now have an 8-run inning here on a Friday night. Broxton rolls to third, and the inning is finally over. But what an inning it was! One of the best of the year. 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 homers, a grand slam by Walker, and then Santana. A 3-run blast. 10-2 Brewers.
First in this game, and a 10-2 lead right now. 3 home runs in the Brewers' top half of inning number 8 in their own home ballpark. They know where they're playing right now. We just saw evidence of that, Augie.
I'll tell you what, when you talk about this crowd, it's been fantastic. Atmosphere here, it's just been great. But you talk about the Brewers putting up big 4 home runs, 1 an inning, 3 big home runs, 8 runs, 6 hits. I'll tell you, a big inning in the 8th inning for the Brewers.
4th time this year they've scored 8 in 1 inning. And coming up on Brewers Live, presented by Ascension, we'll look back at that big frame and also what the bullpen has collectively been able to do from beginning to hopefully end here tonight. Hear from Craig Counsell, get post-game reaction with Sophia on the field with the Brewer players as well. So Looking forward to this one, and this one, guys, if it holds out, a must-win for Milwaukee. Everyone else winning in contention, whether it's division or wild card at this point.
That's right, and the Cubs beating the Cardinals. Don Mattingly is still barking at the home plate umpire about this change that council made, feeling like it was announced as a double switch, which the home plate umpire never had it as a double switch. And Mattingly is doing his best to get tossed here, I think. And there it goes. These post-game press conferences are going to be fascinating to find out why Mattingly feels like he got the wrong information.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the only one that had the wrong information. The Brewers, you saw the lineup card last inning. They had Pena in that 7th spot, in the vote spot. The umpires had it. And Don Mattingly and the Marlins were the only ones that didn't have it right. I don't know what it was announced here. I don't know what the PA was saying about the move, but the umpires had it right. And the PA's not official.
He keeps pointing up this way. I think that's his part of his argument is this was announced. It was posted on the scoreboard as a double switch. It was announced as a double switch. But really what matters, I guess, is the fact that counsel didn't go to the home plate umpire for a double switch, made it a straight up change, which is obviously the way the home plate umpire Ryan Addison is stating it. Otherwise, Mattingly wouldn't be so upset.
Well, the lineup up on the scoreboard had it right. They had Pena in the 7th spot.
So Mattingly's been tossed. Meanwhile, Anthony Swarzak just continuing to get loose as he enters the game here. Even though it's 10-2, he was already loose in the bullpen, ready to come into a closer game, and so counsel will let it ride with Swarzak here in the 8th.
Yeah, once you get a guy, ready to come in the game, you just bring him in. 62nd appearance, great numbers for Swarzak. That 228 earned run average. He's got the top of the Marlins order coming up.
Brewers make a number of defensive changes as well. Arcia and Broxton both stay in the game. So Arcia, after pinch running, stays in at short. That moves Sogard to second, Walker to first. Broxton comes in after a pinch hit appearance, which moves Phillips to right. Top of the Marlins order. It was a 2-2 game when we started the 8th. Brewers score 8 in the inning. And now it's 10-2, and be curious to see how counsel manages the bullpen the rest of the way.
Believe it or not, Craig Counsell has run through just about his entire bench. Hard to believe with 9 guys on the bench to start the game. He's got Berry and Aguilar left.
How many players?
They had 9 on there.
22 total players have competed in this game for the Brewers. 22.
Yeah.
6 pitchers. 7. Swarzak being the 7th. Boy, Neil Walker. He looks calm, but that's about as animated as you'll ever see Neil Walker after that grand slam. That was something. What a moment. On the ground to second base. Sogard's over there now. 1 away.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Hogan Inn in Hogan, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite beer pen. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite, what's better than an 8-run inning than a nice Miller Lite?
Good point. On both sides, actually.
I really can't, I can't really think of it. Yeah. You know, Hogan, Wisconsin, that's a new one on me. I don't think we've had that before. Northwest of Rice Lake.
How does one go about finding out if Hogan is the correct pronunciation? Is that your team of?
We have spent 7 innings trying to figure that out, and that's what we're going with.
Stanton on the ground, a hot one, backhanded by Arcia. Long throw, scoop, in and out of the glove of Walker. And Stanton is aboard. That'll be a base hit for Giancarlo Stanton.
Tough pick for Walker, that in-between hop.
Not sure if the throw, if he picks it, if he's out. Let's take a look here.
You see Arcia going down to try and get himself in position to throw. It would have been close. He would have been out.
Yeah, he would have.
Half a step.
That's a tough one. Yelich tied up. Defensive swing. Yelich 0 for 2 today with a walk.
I don't think Craig Counsell minds using Swarzak in this spot, regardless of the score. He hasn't pitched since Tuesday.
Same with Knebel.
Right. You want to keep those guys in the bullpen without throwing too long.
It's amazing how quiet it is in here right now.
Right.
Full throat, exhausted, maybe a little hoarse after that 8th inning. That was a sustained, loud rally cry.
Plus, they were standing up just about the entire inning, right?
That was really something else to see. That'll be on the highlights of the season right there for sure. That was a moment that we will not forget. And Yelich down on strikes. Swarzak with the high fastball, second out of the inning.
Steady diet of sliders and then able to get him to chase. Actually not chase, try to get that fastball by him, and he did it.
7 pitchers have combined to give up just 6 hits, 2 runs, both of those coming in the second off Jeffress. Marlins had not had a base runner since the 4th inning before that infield hit by Stanton.
And a slew of strikeouts.
A strike to Ozuna. Brewer pitching tonight. I got 11 Ks, with Hader the most impressive in that group. Faced 6 batters, he struck out 5 of them. And no doubt he'll be in line. Well, no, you'd have to have Hughes in line for the win. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Hughes is the guy in the game, and the Brewers got those 8 runs.
2-2 game when Hughes pitched his scoreless inning to get the Brewers to the 8th inning. So Hughes in line for the win. Ellington on the hook for the loss, giving up 6 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. One ball, 1 strike on Marcell Ozuna. Got a runner at first, Stanton, and that one's to Arcia, who will go to second, and the inning is over. And an easy one for Swarzak. 16 pitches, picks up a strikeout. We go to the 9th.
been following the 22-game winning streak for the Cleveland Indians, and that streak came to an end tonight as Francisco Lindor struck out for the final out in the 9th at Progressive Field. So the Royals snapped the streak 4-3, but such a cool moment at Progressive Field after the final out. Cleveland Indians fans sticking around, giving the team a standing ovation, and the team emulating them as well, coming out of the dugout, showing their appreciation, tips of the cap to the Cleveland Indians fans as well for their support. So an incredible run comes to an end for the Cleveland Indians, 22 games.
All right, Sophia, thank you. That is one of those that'll we'll be talking about for a long, long time. The one from the A's, the 20-game winning streak from the Oakland A's held up since the 2002 season, and a new American League record. The Indians, they look like a team that could be a handful in the postseason.
Did you hear any of the calls from our buddy Tom Hamilton throughout that streak?
I did.
He's something. What an announcer, huh?
He gets excited. He's a Wisconsin native.
Right.
One of our favorites, Tom Hamilton on Indians radio.
I'll be seeing the Indians next year.
Good, they can get all their winning out of them this year, maybe.
See our buddy Rick Manning, color analyst, one of my old buddies when we were playing together.
It's a little soft liner for a base hit. Manny Pena, 2 at-bats tonight, has delivered with 2 hits.
It's a good day. Come in late, get 2 hits.
Brett Phillips now takes a ball. Phillips 0 for 3. Hit a line shot that was caught by Yelich in the 2nd inning, and then hit a deep fly ball to center that was run down by Yelich in the 8th. He's got an 0-fer, but he's actually hit the ball hard twice. Does have a stolen base tonight, and a bit of a base running blunder in the 4th inning. And that is on the ground. Oh, barehanded, bobbled, flipped to second. Wow. D. Gordon makes quite the play to get an out at second base. Ball had some tricky spin on it. Barehanding the ground ball.
And this is a very good defense. These Florida Marlins, the best in the business. Little backhand shovel pass and able to hit Rojas. He gets the out.
Seriously, how great is that hand-eye coordination?
Man, no kidding, right?
Picking up a bouncing ball with his bare hand while moving.
And doing a backhand flip like that without even really looking at second base.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Arcia's first at-bat. He pinch ran last inning.
Yeah, let's go back to the Don Mattingly and thinking that Manny Pena was batting out of order.
Yes.
I mean, think about had that been an out then.
Right.
Phillips flies out. The inning's over, and this is a 1-run game.
Right.
I mean, those are the things that, you know, Don Mattingly, he was trying to.
Oh, Arcia hits one off the pitcher, and he will reach on a single. And let's hope McGowan's all right. He says he's fine. Well, that one hit him flush.
Been a rough go of it, you know, for these Marlins at the latter part of this game. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it would seem to be kind of a kind of ridiculous argument by the Marlins manager. Like, what's the difference? I mean, I guess it does mean a lot. Because had they called Pena out for batting out of order, the inning would have been over. It would have been a 1-run game. So those kind of things, I mean, they add up. And that's why he was so upset, because you never know how an inning's going to turn out.
Well, we were told that the second round where Mattingly got ejected, there was even more confusion on a Keon Broxton at bat. There was some thinking that the home plate umpire signaled to the wrong spot in the batting order for Broxton, which now makes more sense that Mattingly would go out if he felt like there were two miscommunications by the home plate umpire, and that's why he got tossed. So we were wondering why he would come back out, but
well,
now maybe that's a good reason why.
Well, Keon pinch hit for Thames. I think the confusion was where Swarzak was going to be in the batting order above him.
Yeah, Broxton hit in the 6th spot in the batting order. There's a bouncer to second. Gordon makes a nice play, and the Marlins turn a nifty double play to get out of the inning. We will find out all of those answers on Brewers Live tonight, guaranteed. Going to be some interesting questions.
Too bad either for the Brewers. Catch all the excitement, all the drama, and every unforgettable moment as baseball's best buy for the game's ultimate prize. Go to MLB.com/postseason to check out the complete 2017 postseason schedule. That starts on October 3rd.
Brewers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. We have a major league debut happening here at Miller Park. And what a story it is. Aaron Wilkerson making the rise all the way to the majors from independent ball, stocking shelves at a grocery store, and has now made it to the big show. He was fantastic at Colorado Springs this year, and his last start for Colorado Springs was in the Pacific Coast League playoffs. That was back on the 7th of September. He tossed a 7-hit game of no-hit ball, 1 walk and 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, pretty good numbers down in the minor leagues. You saw it, a .316 earned run average in 24 starts. 143 strikeouts and 142 in the 3rd innings down in the minor leagues.
That whole season was in Double-A. He made the jump to Triple-A to pitch in the postseason and was fantastic. And here he is, his first pitch in the big leagues. There is discussion that Aaron Wilkerson will make a start next week, perhaps. He is among those considered when the spot comes back around for the Brewers to need a starting pitcher without Jimmy Nelson. The Brewers are in a bullpen by committee day today. Council doesn't want to keep doing this so often.
That'll be in Pittsburgh.
First batter he's facing here in the big leagues is JT Realmuto, and he's got him 1-2.
Showing a pretty good breaking pitch.
got to be a confidence boost, huh? You have a great year in AA, go to AAA for the playoffs, make a start for a team you haven't been with all year, and you go 7 no-hit innings with 11 punch-outs.
Yep, and welcome to the major leagues. He's in the book. The baseball encyclopedia will have Aaron Wilkerson in it.
And he got him. His first batter face is a strikeout in the big leagues.
He looks calm, but he'd like to do backflips right now.
Something special about these major league debuts. Think about all the family, the coaches along the way. They're going to save that baseball for him. His first strikeout. Ed Cedar having a little fun. It's a long ride, and it's more than just the player himself to get to this level. There's so many people, I'm sure, that's passing through his mind as he arrived at the ballpark today. Hopefully he's not thinking about that right now, but experience this once as he pumps a strike in there on Justin Bour.
He'll never feel like this again, ever. First time appearing in a game.
Bour lifts one in the air, playable in right. Phillips for the second out. Don't forget, we'll be back at it tomorrow here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap, 5:30 airtime, 6:10 first pitch. There are still tickets available as they have opened up more tickets to sell. Zach Davies looking for win number 18. He'll match up against Adam Conley. '28-year-old Aaron Wilkerson out of Waco, Texas, making his big league debut. Falls behind 2-0 on rookie Brian Anderson. Wilkerson played his college ball at Cumberland University, NAIA school, Tennessee. And as is the case for a lot of pitchers at this age making their big league debut, there's been a lot of trials. One of those was Tommy John surgery after his collegiate eligibility, and then he didn't get drafted and had to come through the independent leagues to get back on his feet in organized baseball, meaning affiliated ball with a major league team.
Yeah, get through all that. Here he is.
2-2 the count. Wilkerson deals and a strikeout to end the game. 3 up, 3 down, 2 punch outs. In Wilkerson's major league debut, he gets a game finish tonight, and the Brewers, on the strength of an 8-run 8th inning, win this opener 8-2. Jared Hughes, the winner. Ellington, the loss. Neil Walker with the big blast, the grand slam. Eric Thames hit a home run to give the Brewers the lead, and then Thames followed that up with a Walker and Santana home run to win it 10-2. Time for Brewers Live. Let's check in with Craig Kashawn standing by. Take it away, Craig.
Yeah, being the road team, not too bad in your own home ballpark. Worked out pretty well for Milwaukee. We'll talk about where they stand in the